Well, hey, y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I am Susan. I'm your hostess, and I hope everyone is doing good today. We are entering into Valentine's week, and y'all, it's getting really close to Valentine's Day. I hope you're ready for it. Well, we are going to have a little bit of a chat today about some different topics that are going to come out of our chat. And I just want to remind everybody that we want to keep it clean here, and that the topics should be along the lines of maybe survival, prepping, food storage, the chickens in the news, things that are going on your homestead, or things that you're looking at in your channel. And we are going to talk about all of our friends that are have reached their 1K and are looking for watch hours. And I'm going to start mentioning their names. And I'm hoping some people come into our chat and we can start introducing everybody to each other. Make sure that you drop the word Hillbilly to have your link dropped by Nightbot, and we will get this party started. First of all, I want to wish old ways gardening and prepping Teresa a happy birthday. She had her happy birthday bash last night, and y'all, if you didn't come to that, you missed it. So it was really exciting. You can go back and watch the replay, but I'm going to tell you, it's hours and hours long. Hey, Freckled and Frugal, you're new here. Welcome in. In case you're wondering, I do write down everybody's name that comes through our live so I can go check out your channel and get to know you a little bit better and maybe give you a little bit of watch time. Hey, Lazarus Homestead, welcome in. Hey, Barb's Country Home, welcome in. Hi, Jean, how are you doing? I'm so glad that we have some friends coming into the house today. I am getting ready to start telling you about our watch hour list, folks, that we want you to go and check out their channels. The topics today will be coming from our chat. So if you have some topics that you would like to discuss, you can put it in to the channel. Hey, Heather's Chubby Hubby, welcome in. And if you hear any growling, I have both dogs on top of me right now. Hey, Black's Tropical Homestead, welcome in, welcome in. Barb, you are on my new friends list for now until you reach that 1K, and then I will move you up to the watch list. But I am going to mention that you are looking for watch hours. Freckled and Frugal, I have a dog on me too. I have two on me right now. We've locked the cat in the bedroom so that he won't entertain the dogs while I'm doing this video or this live. Our watch channel list is getting rather long, and I'm hoping some of these channels will come back and tell me where they're at on their watch hours so we can drop them off as they reach the 4K that they're looking for. Heather, I have a Jack Russell Terrier and I have a Jack Weenie. Both of them are rescue dogs. And we have a rescue cat. He's a yellow tabby. Our first channel on our list is Missy's channel. Now, Missy has been on YouTube for a long time, but she had some health issues and back surgery, and she was out of YouTube for 4 years recuperating. And when she came back, she found out all her watch hours had disappeared. So she's trying to rebuild her channel. She has plenty of friends, but we want to encourage everybody to go by and check out Missy's channel because she has a lot of great content on there. And she does artwork. She crochets. She does games and giveaways and things like that. And she does an audio Bible reading. So it's really a great channel. You can find a lot of content on her channel. And she's very bubbly. She's got a great personality. She likes to joke around. Well, hello, Jamie's Country Living. Welcome in. Hey, Triple Threat. Welcome in. The next channel I want to talk about is Vision Preparedness. Now, this is Mr. Trent. And Mr. Trent is awesome. He does all kinds of preparedness videos. He wants you to be prepared for any situation that you might go into. He will do frugal shopping with you on Fridays, and you will find all kinds of things that will interest you on his channel. He's all about survival and prepping. Hush, baby. They can hear you on there. She's wanting to be lovey right now, as y'all can see. Very jealous of one another. And I don't think I've missed anybody else coming in. Our next channel is Wolf Spirit Productions. They are truckers and they travel across the country. So you will see a lot of scenery from across the country as they talk to you. They do a lot of lives. So you might want to go by there and check out their channel. Hello, Nona Grace. Welcome in. Welcome in. Freckled and Frugal, I do not have links to them. Well, I do because it's in the description box below. A couple of links may have not taken today. I don't know. YouTube is being funny here lately with me dropping links. Hey, Papa's Kitchen, welcome in. So glad that you're here. You can look in the description box below after this video is done, and there should be a link to all the channels that I mentioned today. The next channel is Carpenter Self-Reliance. Now, Jerry is a very sweet guy. He raises all kinds of animals for meat. They process their own meat. He works on big equipment. He shows you how to build pens and things like that for like your hogs. And he has a lot of knowledge to give to the homesteading community. So I would suggest anybody that's interested in raising animals for meat, go and check out Jerry at Carpenter Self-Reliance. Woman Outdoors is Miss LB, and she is a wonderful supporter and a great channel to watch. She does a lot of outdoor activities as per her name of her channel. She likes to go camping and fishing and hiking and being out in the woods. And I think that a lot of women really appreciate her channel because she shows us that we can do it too. So it's always nice to see a woman out there doing things on her own and showing others that it can be done. And I love Miss LB, and she just sent me her sticker just here recently, and I'm excited because I've got her sticker on my board now. And let's see, Littlefoot Ranch, welcome in. I'm so glad that you're here. Y'all, I am so excited about everybody that comes to my lives and my premieres. Y'all don't know what it means to me to have that support and to know that you enjoy the videos. And if you see something I'm not doing quite right, don't be afraid to reach out to me in an email and say, hey, Susan, you might try doing this. It's all about how we tell one another things. So, I am very teachable and I love getting feedback from the YouTube community. I want to grow this channel and I want to be the best channel that I can be. And if you see something that I am not doing quite good enough, don't be afraid to say something. Or if you have a suggestion for a video, don't be afraid to reach out and let me know that too. Corner Clubhouse Cabalt is another channel that I am currently watching their playlist. He has only one playlist on his channel, and you will find all of his lives on there and some of the other videos that he's done. And I'm working through that list. He has a lot of lives, y'all, but I think you will find him very enjoyable. And he has a lot of Filipino guests on there. I think they're from the Philippines. And you'll see that also. So if you're interested in that, you need to go check him out. Mary Love Country Living, welcome in. And one of my pens just stopped writing on me. And let's see. Want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. I don't think I have. Thank you for coming in. We're going to move on. Woman Outdoors and Corner Clubhouse Cabalt are two of the channels that I am binge watching right now. Y'all, if you have more than one piece of equipment, or if your husband or your spouse has a cell phone and they're not using it, get on there and do some binge watching for a channel friend. And I guarantee you that it will pay you back in the long run. You will not only be connecting with a great person and a great channel, but you will be able to glean a lot of information from them by doing that. And they will be very supportive of your channel as well. Jamie's Country Living said, I had to redo my mail call video at Littlefoot Ranch. Big mail call, had to refilm 9 mail calls. Oh my goodness. That is a lot of mail. Bless your heart. And you're here. I'm so happy you're here. Well, let's see. Inquisitive Farmhouse, or I'm sorry, the Inquisitive Farm Wife, I get her name wrong all the time, needs watch hours. She just recently made it over the 1K not too long ago, and I have not gotten to her watch list yet, but she has everything to do with farming and homesteading, and great channel. And y'all, my nose is itching again. I don't know what it is about getting on my live and my nose itching. Maybe it's nerves. Yeah, it's a great idea with the phone, because I have a laptop and my phone, and my husband sits there at night. He's on his phone the entire time, and I have both my phone and my laptop running with the watch list, or I'm doing my watch later list, which is all of y'all, because I will go through and pull videos, and I try to get at least 10 minutes or maybe more on each person's video. I don't always get that, y'all, but I try, because I know how important those watch hours are going to be. Okay. Big Dude was on here last week, and I don't know much about his channel, but he asked for us to put him on the watch hour list because he needs watch hours. And if I'm not mistaken, he has over 3,000 friends on his list, but he's just desperately in need of watch hours. Mary Love is down to just a little over 1,100 watch hours, having all of those done. Okay. So, Mary, do you have your 1K already? I'll find out about that in a minute. And Papa says my video today didn't record about half of it, but I had to make do. I'm sure it was old man error. You know, Papa's Kitchen, my phone will go down in the middle of a segment. I try to do it in segments when I'm videotaping. And I do that purposely because if I lose a segment, I can still carry on the video. And a lot of times I will realize that it went down and I can kind of catch myself or give y'all a little feedback on that of what I was doing during that segment. And you can always use them for bloopers. Jamie's right. I got bloopers on and left them on. Oh, well. Okay, Mary, you're not quite at your 1K yet. So I've got you. What I do is I put you on my watch later list and I will shout out how many friends that you have so we can get you built up. And if you get new friends, you will get some watch hours that way. Another good thing you can also do if you have a community tab already is you go ahead and put it out on your community tab. Hey, friends, I really appreciate all my subscribers, but I'm in need of watch hours. Can you watch a playlist and give them a playlist for them to watch? Mary Love says she has just over 400 having all the, okay, you just need 400 to have all your buses. Okay, we got that. And I don't think anybody else popped in except for Barb. Okay, she's in here already. Hey, Always Gardening and Prepping. Happy birthday, Miss Teresa. Y'all, she had an awesome giveaway last night. Y'all missed it. If you didn't go to that, you missed it. And of course, I wimped out about 11:30. I couldn't keep my eyes open any longer. She had, I think it was 91 gifts to give out. A lot of seed, books, and I don't know what else she gave out, but she gave out a lot of stuff, y'all. And Old School with a Modern Twist is in the house. Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, Papa, you really, I have to keep an eye on the camera because my camera will go down on me. And it drives me nuts because I might have a really good segment and it's gone and you can't recreate it because you're in the middle of cooking. So you can't really recreate what that segment was. An 8-hour live stream with Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. Y'all, I think I stayed through about 5 hours of that. And I know you racked up some watch hours last night because you had 101 likes when I left, Teresa. That is just awesome. Awesome. This woman has given away so much stuff. She's got such a big heart for the community, and we just love Miss Teresa. Okay. CNC Farm, Miss Ashley, also needs watch hours. And many of us are already friends with her. So if you can go over there and catch one of her playlists or run all of her playlists, that would be so helpful. I can't even talk today. Helpful to Miss Ashley. And speaking of Miss Ashley, let me flip my page. There's an upcoming collaboration for the month of, let me start over again because my dog's moving. There's an upcoming collaboration for the month of March. It is an open collaboration. You will need to reach out to Miss Ashley on her email and let her know that you're wanting to participate. It's called Freezer Frenzy, #FreezerMeals23. And she will do a drawing on April the 7th. So there will be a drawing with that. So that will be a great opportunity for some of these small channels to get recognized through a collaboration. And collaborations are a great way to build your friends list and also get some watch time. Let's see. Tiny Farm Nuggets, welcome in. So glad that you're here. Thank you for dropping her link, Tarsha. I appreciate that. What are you doing, Roscoe? Come on, get back down here. All righty. Yeah, we like to give birthday wishes, Miss Teresa. Okay, we're going to move on to the ones that need new friends. And y'all, I want you to be, while I'm reading through this list, I want you to be thinking about some topics for today, because I'll be honest with you, I didn't even have time to think about topics. And all my topics today are going to come from the chat, from ideas that y'all throw out. And some examples would be survival, prepping, food storage, and of course the chicken news that we're all hearing about. Yes, he wants loving, and he wants behind me, and he can't get behind me. I've got a pillow there, and I don't want him to fall off the arm because he's already he's already injured his back leg. Tiny Farm Nugget says wet chickens. Mine are going to be wet today because we got rain coming in. Wet dogs. I don't want any wet dogs. They stink. Okay, we're going to move on. We have a comedian in the house. Okay, for new friends. And y'all, I don't use the SUB word because YouTube frowns on that. So I use the word bus or friends. You can use whatever word you want to use. Littlefoot Ranch said everything is wet here. Anybody doing microgreen indoor right now? And are they easy to do? A couple of channels are, and I can't think off the top of my head. Tarsha, maybe you know who it is. I'm having brain farts today, y'all. So maybe, yeah, they frown on everything just about anymore. Yeah, Mary Love, I call them, a lot of people call them family members too. Okay, we're going to move on. While y'all are figuring that out, we'll come back. Jamie's Country Living has 647 friends. And Jamie is a homesteading channel and has a great, great channel. I love her channel. I love Miss Jamie. Littlefoot Ranch is another homesteading channel that I'm getting to know and love, and they are at 291. And Miss Jamie is getting closer to that 700 mark. Littlefoot Ranch is getting closer to that 300 mark. I would love to see those channels move on. And Pedrosa Travel is all about travel, y'all. It's in the name. They have 723 friends, and we can push them to 800 really easy if we go out there and check out their channel. Janet Homestead, where you are, welcome in. Thank you for coming in, Mary Love. I appreciate you being here. Go to Wally World. Lord help you. Warm Strong Adventures is another travel channel, and they do a lot of boat rides. They travel on those big ships. They're at 775, and they're inching closer to that 800 mark. We can easily push them over. Barb's Country Living is at 896. And Barb also needs those watch hours, y'all. So if you can, squeeze in Barb's Country Living. Give her some watch time. Go check out her playlist. And also become her friend. And let's push her over that 800 mark. She's so close. And we all covet those milestones when we make them. Henry Leslie Vermont is somebody new, and I really don't know enough about his channel to talk too much about him. But what I did watch, I liked. And he is at 135 friends. He is a brand new channel, y'all. We've all been there. So go show Henry some love and let him know that you came over from the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. Michelle Crochets in Kansas is at 676 friends. And she crochets. She does a lot of lives. She does devotionals. Really sweet lady. And I think everybody here pretty much knows her, but you can go check her out. She is a great channel. AR Gun 1776 is my friend. He is one of my moderators. He is getting over being sick. He's starting to get back to his normal self, and we are wishing him the best. He has 307 friends, y'all. And honestly, what he does on his channel is important to anybody that hunts or wants to know more about taking care of firearms or things like that. He is a great teacher for those kind of things, and you will love his channel. He shows you how to do things for yourself with different parts of the weaponry that we all know and love. Faith and Feathers is Miss Bonnie. And Miss Bonnie is a brand spanking new channel that became an inspiration because I kind of pushed her to start a channel. She is so comical and sweet and loving, and she loves chickens, and so she named her channel Faith and Feathers. And they have 59 friends, y'all. And y'all please go by and show her some love. Janet Homestead Where You Are, another great homesteading channel. And she teaches you all about homesteading on her channel and is at 822 friends. Thank you, Old School with a Modern Twist. I appreciate you being here. Story Time with Uncle Bill has 845 friends, and he's another great channel that I'm getting to know, and I just absolutely love him, and he's a great supporter of my channel, and I just absolutely love that. Corky's Tea Time, Miss Corky is a new channel, very laid back lady. Sometimes she's opinionated, but that's, we all have opinions. So we take everything with a grain of salt, no matter what channel is putting out information. She is very sweet and lovable. And of course, her channel tells you that she loves tea and she loves collecting teapots and things like that. And she'll have tea chats and, but she also fits into the homesteading community because she does gardening and a little bit of canning. And she is at 43 friends right now. So we need to help her to grow. My last channel that I'm going to shout out is Candy Dudette Watson. Please send goats. Now, y'all, Candy is a supporter of just about every channel that is a small channel, and I absolutely love Candy. And she really does need to grow. She's at 111 friends, y'all. So if we can get her up to 200 or more, that would be wonderful. And I really do pray over this list each week and ask God to bless these channels and to help me with my lives and with whatever I'm putting out, because I want it to be edifying to the Lord first and foremost. Yeah, that's a great name. Yeah, she does have a great coop set up. So y'all go check out all of these channels. And thank you, Tarsha, for dropping the names. I do appreciate that. And I've already gone over the upcoming collaboration. I'm going to give my channel update. And then we're going to open up the panel to anybody that wants to come up. Currently, I am at 815 friends. And it's been flopping back and forth between 815, 816. Doesn't seem to be growing any. Although I am reaching out to new channels all the time. I'm hoping that somebody likes my content enough to hit that friend button and bust me. But right now, that's where we're at. My watch hours are 2706.9. And I gained 59.1 watch hours this week, and most of them came from my live. So that lets you know that, things are kind of slacking off a little bit. But we will eventually get there. And I need at least 185 new friends. I'd like to see it a little bit more than that, just to make sure that 1K is secure. And I need 1,293 watch hours to be at that 4K. And there's going to be a live coming up tomorrow. AR Gun 1776 is having a live. It will be at 7:05 Central Time. Y'all go check out his live. Tell him the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch sent you over there. Let's support this man that has supported my channel so well and been such a good moderator friend. I really appreciate Mr. Elliott over there. Yeah, we love you, Miss Teresa. I think I know you, or I have known you from the NAIA down in Memphis, maybe in passing. But your face, when I first saw your channel, I told my husband, I said, she looks so familiar, and I could not place where I had known you from. And of course, I had been with NAIA for a brief time in Memphis, and then when I moved to Millington, I went to AIA and did a lot of things through the AIA down there for the American Indians. So we really enjoyed doing that. Yeah, more than likely our paths have crossed. And, it is a small world when you find somebody like that. Okay, so what do y'all want to chat about? And who wants to come up on panel? Don't be shy. I know we got friends out there that love to come up on panel. One time you were the vice president of the NAIA. Wow. I know the NAIA and the AIA didn't always see eye to eye on everything, but the sole purpose of both organizations was to teach about Native Americans and the Native American history, and to help promote the Native American community, which, in my opinion, was wonderful because they needed that. They need that support so desperately bad. I have friends from the Iroquois tribe. Matter of fact, one of them was the drum, the Red Heart Singers drum that used to come out to the powwows, who passed away and is so dearly loved. And so many other friends out there. And through those two organizations, I got to meet code talkers and Native Americans from just about every tribe, and it was great. Yeah. Yeah, that's when it was the faraway Cherokee. Yes, I remember that. Yep. So anyway, we did a lot of things, and I was the editor for the AIA and the secretary, so I did a lot of doing a lot of research to put articles into our little newsletter to tell our members about different things that was happening across the country with Native American communities. And I also did the powwow pamphlet, or the magazine that we put out, with all the dancers and information in it. It was a great opportunity for me, and I enjoyed doing what I did. And it's sad that we don't see the powwows as often as we used to in this area. But if you do have a Native American community and they do have powwows that are open to the public, please go out and check them out and support them. A lot of times these dancers will go out and they will do the competitions to raise money to help them get from one powwow to the next. And it costs a lot of money for them to create the regalia that they wear, and for gas money, and, you know, hotel lodgings and so forth and so on. That's awesome, Barb. So you're part of the $50 2023. That is very awesome. She just made some homemade bread and added more vegetables to her forever soup. Sounds wonderful. And I don't even know what the $50 hashtag $50 thing is all about, but I have seen it on several people's videos, and I'm very curious, so I go watch the video. And I'll try to get by and check out your video. That will be very neat to watch. And I love some soup. Y'all, Friday's video for me will be an experimental mixing of feed for our chickens. And I hope that y'all will go by and watch it. It is not a complete recipe yet. We are playing with the percentages to try to get the best chicken feed we can possibly make. You will find out in that video what percentages of were in the feed that we are currently feeding our chickens. And y'all, we were getting 5 to 10 eggs a day out of 50 chickens. Urban Gardening Chronicles. Welcome in. Welcome in. So glad that you're here, my friend. Miss Urban is one of the ones I was trying to remember that does the microgreens type growing situation. Somebody above asked about that. You might want to go check out Urban Gardening Chronicles for their microgreen videos. Hey, big dude, welcome in. Oh, Christy Baum, welcome in. Christy Baum says, I live in Chickasaw County in Oklahoma, and we go to our cultural center often. That's great. Glad that you're here. You're new to our channel. You talking about chicken feed at the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch? Yes, ma'am. That video will be out on Friday. My Raindrop Life, welcome in. New channels, thank you for coming in. If everybody will, one at a time, type in the word Hillbilly, y'all can make some new connections. We got new people in the house, so It's a great time to make new friends. And that's what our chat is all about anyway, is for y'all to connect and grow. Blackberry Rock, welcome in. Miss Southern Belle, welcome in. I'm so glad to see all of you here. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Christy. I'm glad to know that you've watched several times. I can understand you don't get to post much when you're working. I can understand that, but I'm glad that you watch. That helps me out, and I hope that you are enjoying the channel. Well, y'all, we have chicken farms across the world that are burning. And they are culling chickens like crazy in different places because of the bird flu, or I should say the so-called bird flu. And I worry about our little flock because we're down to about 50 chickens. We started out last year at 100, so we've lost about half of our flock, mostly due to old age. Miss Southern Belle, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is one of my thrift store finds. Thank you so much for that. Y'all, the prices of eggs, of course, are phenomenal. Never seen it before. Never thought we would ever see egg prices for what we're seeing now. Yeah, Blackberry Rock Homestead, it is sad that they are burning the chickens. And, the thing of it is really there's nothing around shouldn't be anything around a chicken house that would cause it to catch fire. So they are purposely setting these things on fire with the chickens in there because they want to control us. And that is the honest to God truth. I tell people all the time they're trying to kill us because they want to control the food. They don't want us to do anything but be dependent upon, the government. Yeah, it's all a part of the plan. And it's part of a bigger plan than we even know. It's about the one world government. And that's biblical, y'all. But we do love our little flock. These chickens, they don't do anything but peck in the ground and eat worms and bugs, which is good. They control the bug population, and they eat all our scraps from our garden, from our kitchen table. And they drop out little gold nuggets, and they are nuggets of gold now. Yeah, they are. That is absolutely the truth. Littlefoot Ranch and Urban Gardening Chronicles. It is very senseless. It makes no sense whatsoever. And we have Miss Janet coming up. So I'm going to welcome Miss Janet up.
Hi, how are you?
Hey. Make sure you don't have a YouTube tab up so we don't get any feedback. And we'll talk about your channel in just a second. Welcome in, Sister Winnie. Welcome in. I'm over here twisting my pen again, y'all. If it's got the little clicker on the end, I'm going to be clicking it. This one twists, so I'm twisting it. So how are you, Miss Janet?
I am good. I'm good. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. We are expecting some rain. I don't think we're going to get the storms, but to the south of us, down in the Mississippi Delta region, they are talking about tornadic weather. So I'm hoping and praying for those folks down there, and I'm hoping it doesn't come our way.
Right. Yeah, we've had rain. I'm in California. And I'm in the valley where we don't usually get rain. We've been in a drought for 6 years.
Oh, wow.
And
You
we
need the
have had
rain.
so much rain throughout January and the first part of February. It's unreal. But I think our rain has finally stopped. But we're cold for us anyway. It's cold. We're I think it's 55 today. So.
Oh, wow. So you're a little bit cooler than we are. We're right about 70 degrees. Hey, Linda at 6 Acres Farm, welcome in. So tell us a little bit about your channel.
Well, I'm on 2/3 of an acre, so I don't have a lot of space, but I am learning how to do what I can in the small space that I have. And I started doing the YouTube channel so that, one, so I could document it, but two, so people could learn along with me, you know.
Right.
I have, I think, about 18 or so chickens, and I just bought a few more chicks to add to the flock. I have 6 ducks, a pair of geese. I have a decent sized garden. My seeds just came in, and I'm getting ready to start my seeds and all that, because my last frost date is February 28th. So
Oh, wow.
I got to get some of my stuff going, you know. And then I have about 35 or so fruit, nut, citrus, vine trees going on.
Oh, wow. So you've packed it in that little 2/3 of an acre, haven't you?
Right. And I'm doing the, learning canning and dehydrating and fermenting and all that fun stuff that I can learn how to do. You don't have to have a lot of space to do quite a bit, really.
You really don't. I mean, we live in a double wide trailer or a mobile home, whichever one you want to call it. And the 2 small bedrooms are really small. They're like 8 by 10. So we turned one of those into our pantry, our canning pantry. And I'm still in the process of trying to get stuff out of there because my husband's put up shelves. We still got another shelf to put up.
Right.
I have nowhere to put it. So it's a process. And, we also are in a process of we're going to be doing a lot of renovations to our home. So I've got to get this stuff out of here so I can have workers come in and do what they got to do.
Right.
So, I mean, it's always something when you decide to homestead.
Right. Now, see, our house is, it's long and skinny. So it's like the shape of a mobile home, basically, a single wide.
Okay.
But we have extended on the back a enclosed patio that extends the whole length of the house.
Oh, wow.
So my husband built me a canning kitchen. So I have water, and I have a microwave, and I have, a stove and cabinets and everything that I need there.
Wow.
And then, he uses about half of it for his tools and things like that. And I have a space with an extra refrigerator and an extra freezer and stuff. Because, when all my fruits are coming in at the same time, there's a lot of them that I have to freeze and get to later because I just don't have time to do it all as it comes in,
Absolutely. I want to welcome in Candy Dudette Watson. Please send goats. I love that name. Great community. So you're living what we would call a shotgun house where it's long and skinny.
Right.
And, unfortunately, we're not seeing many of those homes, but they're actually quite spacious inside.
Right.
The ones that I've seen, the ones I've actually been into, I was really surprised at the amount of space that was in that home.
Yeah. It's just my problem is the way it's situated. the way the living room, kitchen, dining area is situated, it doesn't make any sense at all. So it makes it rough for figuring out where to put things and how to put things. And there's it was a 8-foot coat closet basically that's right inside the front door.
Oh, wow.
My husband took that and built me a canning pantry in that.
Well, that was good.
So
Well,
I have that. And then our laundry room has kind of like kitchen cabinets, old kitchen cabinets in it that I use for storage,
right.
So.
Big dude, thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate your time here. I try to catch them when they're coming and when they're going.
Right, I hear you.
But y'all, I know my videos have been dark because of where I'm located at. I'm in the center of our house, and the lighting in here is just not good for camera. So I'm using the lighting from my laptop. That's all the lighting I'm using, because if I put anything else on me, I really look either washed out or really blue.
Right.
It's always something that we're learning,
Yeah, I have a LED, looks kind of like a shop light, like a fluorescent light.
Right.
That I have on the wall up here, out of the way where it doesn't blind me, but puts off enough light for me to do videos and lives and stuff.
Right. Blackberry Homestead said, one of my goals this year is to fill every jar. That is a wonderful goal. That's my goal every year, but I haven't done it yet.
I'll never get there because I keep buying jars.
Yeah, and I buy them. There's a place called Arkansas Glass. Now, I don't know if they mail them. They'll ship them to you, but they are the cheapest canning jars that I found so far by the case. I think they're $8 for pints, for a case of pints. They don't come with the lids. You have to buy your lids separate. And they're the jars that the Amish communities use.
Right.
And they're made in the United States.
I lived in the Northwest Arkansas, Southwest Missouri area for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You're probably familiar with those jars then.
I am.
Yep. And Teresa makes a really good point too. Don't forget to dehydrate up food as well and make your own mixes. I do that quite often. You'll see me on my videos where I am dehydrating, or I am using something I have dehydrated to make a mix or use it in a food.
Yeah, that's one of my goals this year, is to learn more dehydrating. I need to do more of that.
Yeah. And jars have gotten so ridiculous in price. Y'all, we used to go out and buy a case of jars for $6.
Yep.
Now look at it now. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, my problem is I had a couple of years ago, we had a spaghetti sauce factory around here that decided to switch from glass to plastic. And so I bought 250 quart-sized jars with lids for $50.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful.
But at that time, we were a family of 4. So quart size was about right for most things. Right. Now there's just 2 of us.
So you use those jars to do meals in jars, or you use them for storage? That's what I do. Use them for meals in jars, right. The dry meals, or you can use them to store your dry goods.
Right. I use them most. Actually, I can in them, and I do like my, say, chili beans and beef stew and things like that, where you use a bigger quantity in those. Right. But like I said, there's just 2 of us now, so a lot of times we only need a pint of something. So,
well, that's what I do. I'm buying up pint jars like crazy because it's just me and my husband. So pints, it's a perfect amount for 2 to have a meal off of.
Right.
So I see CNC Farm came in. Welcome in, my sweetheart.
Hi,
you got me a while ago. And Urban, I understand multitasking and not watching the screen, but thank you for listening. I appreciate that. It means so much to me. And Littlefoot Ranch has got a dehydrator coming. I hope it turns out better than the one that I had to return to the store. I was really disappointed in the dehydrator that we bought at Rural King.
All right, well, I can't stay on here. I got to go fix something to eat, but I thought I'd pop up and say hi and show some support.
Well, I appreciate you, Miss Janet. Thank you so much for stopping by. You made my day, and I hope that you continue to get some rain, that this drought goes away, because we were in a drought all summer last summer, and that was horrible.
Yeah.
And y'all have had a hard time out there in California, I know.
Yeah, we have. All right, well, I'll catch you later.
Thank you. Thank
Bye,
you for
everybody.
coming up. Bye. Well, that was a nice conversation with Miss Janet, Homestead Where You Are, out in California. I really appreciate that. Blackberry Rock says, super excited for trying new canning recipes and the new canning cookbooks. Yes, ma'am. And I have found recipes in the oddest places. I was surprised at some of the places I find canning recipes. I buy used cookbooks all the time. Of course, if the cookbooks are older, I always use the newer techniques for canning, processing times, and so forth, because some of the older canning books are outdated information, but the recipe is still good. You just have to change your cook time. And I'm looking, and I don't think anybody else has popped in on me. If I missed anybody, I do apologize. But if anybody else would like to come up on panel, I would appreciate it. I'm going to drop the link. Oh, that's not the link. I thought I had it copied. Teresa, I bought my Excalibur off of Amazon, and I love that dehydrator. And I told my husband it's worth paying the little bit of extra to get a good dehydrator. And I would not recommend the dehydrators that I had bought at Rural King. And they go by two different names. There may be more names that they go by, but it was 217 Rilling Company and LEM dehydrators. Yeah, there are a lot of old recipes in the Work Basket magazines. Yes. And I do have some of those, and I actually have them in with all my sewing stuff, but occasionally I will pull them out and look. You can also take recipes that you like to use on a regular basis. You just want to make sure that there's no pasta or rice in them, and that the ingredients are considered approved ingredients. And then you go through your list of ingredients, and you find the ingredient that has the most processing time is what you want to go by. So that was something that I learned. And there's a lot of recipes out there that have not been approved that we can. I don't call myself a rebel canner, but I do call myself a precautious canner. So that's the difference, is if you know what you're canning. I know that milk and cheese is taboo, although I would try it if I had to. It's kind of an iffy thing with the milk. And I did ask some Amish people, because they do can butter, if they would can the milk, and they told me no, they wouldn't can the milk because it kills all the bacteria in the milk, that good bacteria that you get in raw milk. So they wouldn't can it. But they can the butter. And one of these days I'm going to talk to them about canning butter and how long they actually process it. Blackberry Rock, you go put you some wood on the stove, honey. Yeah, Teresa says she uses Presto dehydrators. So they're air forced, and she loves them. The Excalibur is air forced. It has a fan on it. It's very nice. Teresa says she cans G, which lasts longer. Well, I think it's the same thing. G and butter um, is the same thing when it's canned, because you have to shake it after you can it every so often to get it all mixed back together again. G is just melted butter, basically, that's reconstituted. Teresa, you need to do a video on canning the milk, because I am interested in doing that, although I won't be doing it with raw milk. Okay, you just take out the butter fat. Well, then you don't have nothing left if you take out the butter fat. Or are you taking out the butter fat and that's the G? Because I know when it separates, you've got that little bit of cream. Okay, you do have a video. We'll have to go check that one out. But anyway, that would be something that I might put on my canning shelf. Right now, I am able to get the raw milk, and I am freezing my cream. And I need to pull some of the cream out and do some stuff with it. The cream I like to keep in the freezer because if I run low on butter, I can always make butter. If I need whipping cream, I can pull it out of the freezer the night before and I can make whipping cream. Candy says she's been using the Pampered Chef air fryer, which also can dehydrate her, but it takes forever. Yeah. I told my husband I wanted to get a couple of old screen doors, or a frame with the window screen in it and make an outdoor dehydrator. Mainly, I want it to dry seeds in. That way I won't have plates of seeds sitting all over my house. But also I can dehydrate items outside when it's sunny and I know there's not going to be any rain. I can go ahead and dehydrate it out there, and it saves space in the house. Now I would like to have a hanging dehydrator I could put out on my back porch. It gets hot enough on my back porch that I probably could dehydrate anything in a day. Okay, G has a nutty taste, but it has a longer shelf life. Excuse me. That's interesting to know. I've used G before, but I never thought about, what it was, how you went about making it. All I understood was it was more than less melted butter. But and I have made my own butter. And I enjoy making butter. And you can also freeze your butter. If you don't want to can it, you can always freeze it if you've got the freezer space for it. And y'all, if you can get butter on sale, stock up on it because it's high too. They have raised prices on foods that have never been this high. The staples that they used in the Great Depression to stretch foods have really gotten high priced. Okay, you take the fat off. Well, then, like I said, butter is predominantly all fat because that's what you're doing. You're separating it from the whey or the milk product when you make butter. And then you squeeze it, you rinse it and squeeze it. Hey, Rudy, welcome in. Hadn't seen you around in a while, friend. Yeah. So, y'all, hey, Jerry. Jerry Riggs it. Get you on my list. Howdy from the break room. Is it Friday yet? I wish it was Friday. We're still on hump day. Y'all know what hump day is, don't you? Hey, my raindrop life. Thank you for doing that for CNC Farm. That was very nice of you. Y'all, we want those watch hours. We really do. And I really and truly appreciate all our friends that come through. We have 28 people that have come through so far. I'm thrilled. Have no idea about how many likes or anything, but if y'all would, make sure you smash that thumbs up. That really does help with the algorithm. So if you would take a moment and smash the thumbs up for me. Jerry says, I want to go home. Yep, but the missus has a headache. Are you trying to tell me you're the headache? Candy Dudette says, why is there such a problem with the Instapot plastic rings to seal it? I don't know, Candy, because mine seals. I have a problem with the little button, the little nipple not wanting to pop up. But it was because I dropped the lid, but I still get it to pop up. I know that if you don't get that ring in the lid properly, it will not seal. So you got to make sure it's seated in there really good. She won't admit it though. Jerry, you're too funny. Yeah, sometimes you might need to replace those gaskets that they have in there, those rings. As a matter of fact, I need to get a new gasket for my pressure canner to have on hand in case the one I have now goes bad. The Tefal pressure canner uses a silicone gasket. It's different than the Presto and the other brands. Any other topics, or does anybody want to come up and be on panel? It's all about you guys today. Come on now. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I'm glad you're back, Teresa. You want to come up on panel? We're experimenting with the chicken feed here on our homestead to get these chickens laying again. And we're going to be taking a trip, if the chickens don't cost a small fortune, to the farmer that we normally buy our chickens from. Yeah, the silicone is better. It is more flexible. I agree with you. Although I'm not real crazy about all the silicone gadgets that go in the Instapot inside cooking in it. But for canning and using it for a gasket, yes, I would agree. You know, I have several of those little egg bite things that you put in the Instapot, and I hardly ever use them. Yeah, Teresa, it is wise if you need gaskets for your pressure canners to stock up on them while you can. Um, I agree. Anything to do with canning, it's always wise to stock up on canning lids, the flats. If you can get your hands on some uh, that aren't made in China. um, I look for products made in the United States as much as possible, but I am avoiding anything that comes out of China. I really am. Um, I don't trust them. I bought mason lids thinking they were made in the United States off of Amazon, and they were made in China and they failed. Okay, thank you, Teresa. I will do that. Thank you very much, Jerry, for coming in. I appreciate you, my friend. Y'all, I am dreaming of the 1K giveaway, and I have so many ideas and so little time. But most of my giveaway items will be homemade. And I think that y'all will like some of the things that I'm going to be giving away. I will be doing seeds. I know that. I've got plenty of seeds that I'm preparing for the giveaway when we get there. And I am working on going through my craft stuff, and I will have a craft giveaway sometime in the future. And I may do something on one of my lives in the future. I don't know, and not even say anything about it. Just do it when we get on the live. Sometimes those are the best kind of giveaways, I think, when they're surprise. Ashley, you're always on when the kiddos are sleeping and I have to be quiet. Yeah, I think homemade items are the best. I really enjoy making certain things, but you know, uh, I can only use so much of it, and I'm like a little machine when I sit down to crochet. I can just keep putting it out and putting it out. So I am looking forward to getting back to doing some of my crafts. And Candy, you're right. You can never have enough seeds. I may have to go to Seeds Anonymous. You may want to put seeds in the ground somewhere in a jar, the way the government's acting. But I'm looking, I'm being honest here. I have a feeling that one day when we go to mail out our little seed packets, that the mail's going to confiscate them. So I was like, you know, get them while you can. Get them while you can. Pass them out while you can. Y'all, save your seed. Seeds are your life. Yeah, I think so too, Littlefoot Ranch. Homemade items are really the best, and seeds are always a good idea. Everybody wants seeds. Thank you for coming by, my Raindrop Life. I really appreciate you being here. And Teresa, I'm dropping the link. There we go. There it is. I'm going to have to check out that video on your how to dehydrate your cooked rice for instant rice. That would be good to have on hand. We don't eat a lot of rice here because it's a high carb. But that would be something I would be interested in having for my meals in jars. But that would be something I would be interested in having for my meals in jars. Okay, you got to get the YouTube tab down.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, you got to get the YouTube tab down.
Okay. Okay.
There
Can
we
you
are.
hear me now? Can you hear
Hi.
me?
Hi, Teresa. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh man, this StreamYard stuff.
Oh, I know it.
Man, people don't realize how upset I was at it last night.
Well, you got through it. That's the main thing.
Yes, I did. Let me look
Happy
halfway
birthday, Miss
decent.
Lady. Happy
Thank
birthday
you.
to you. I'm older than you are.
Yep, I look rough this morning or this afternoon.
Well, after 8 hours, I would imagine so.
I'm just winging it. I finally rescued the seeds from the post office this morning.
Did you?
Yeah, so I can fill the empty packages with seeds.
Well, I was just talking about that there's going to come a day when they're going to confiscate us passing seeds on to other people.
Well, they will. They will. They're trying to do everything because right now they're working on hot and heavy for the last 2 years, injecting plants with something. And they're going to start putting that on the market for fresh eating. So I'm like going, well, guess I'm going to not be doing any of that.
Well, they were putting artificial meat out, so.
Oh, I refuse it. I won't eat it. I've even seen it on clearance. I'm going, no, not going to do it.
Yep.
I
It's
refuse to.
crazy stuff. I'm telling you. Who
That's
would have
sick.
thought? Yeah, who would have thought? I grew up in the 60s. You were born in the 60s.
70.
Oh, you were
70, maybe.
okay.
Yep.
You were born in 70.
We didn't have this.
No, there was nothing like this. We had no clue what was coming. Our
Yep.
parents had no clue what was coming.
Oh, well, now my grandmothers did. They did. And they tried to warn me. And back then you just like going, okay, grandma. Okay. But no, my great grandmother said she had dreams and everything where they were cloning humans and everything. So she knew.
Yeah. Hey, Stock Explorer, welcome in, Miss Nora. Miss Nora is all about the stocks, y'all. Y'all can find out everything about the stock market, and a few other things. I love Miss Nora. I missed her live this morning because I was so busy trying to get this live set up.
I missed a bunch of lives this morning. I missed them because I was out cold.
Bears is in the house. Welcome in. Another new channel to me.
Hello, everyone. I'm not used to being on somebody else's chat.
Hey, we love it.
I'm always on my phone, and it will not let me until we upgrade it and let me get on anybody's lives.
Yep. So, what all are you planning on growing this year?
Oh, it's more like, what am I not planning on growing? Let's see. I have 5 different. Now I'm growing up. You can grow way more food by growing up. I've got 4 or 5 different pole beans. I have 6 different cowpeas, which I love cowpeas. Absolutely love it. Now I grow tomatoes. I can, and I also grow them to eat as well. I have now my garden is almost a quarter of an acre. My rows for my garden are 90 feet long. And I break up now my okra. I grow a whole 90-foot row of okra, and I'll have 2 90-foot rows of tomatoes. So they'll probably end up being 200 tomato plants. I know people go, that's crazy. No, people don't realize when you're canning, it takes a whole lot more food to can it up than you would think it does. Let's see, I'm going to have zucchini, yellow squash, okra. I'm going to have the roselle, which is the hibiscus. I'm going to be growing a new plant for me that, I've got to grow. It's called callaloo. It's in the amaranth family. The leaves taste just like cooked spinach when you cook them.
Oh, wow.
Also, let it flower later on in the season and let it seed. You try not to let it drop seeds because it's amaranth. Once you have amaranth,
You got it for life.
you got it. So plant it where you want it. The seeds from the callaloo as well as the Hopi red dye amaranth that I was giving away last night can be. It's an old grain. It's a very old heirloom. You can cook it like quinoa. You can also pop it in a skillet as well. I'm going to have Malabar spinach, which is, if you don't have Malabar spinach, you need it. That can be cooked and canned up just like regular spinach. It grows in the heat. It wants heat. Of course, I'll have all my herbs. Of course, my winter squashes, my pumpkins, my watermelons, my cantaloupes, my gourds. And yeah, I could keep going on and on about what all I'm going to be growing. Loofah. Yeah, I'm going to be a busy girl this year.
I want to say hi to our treasured home, Miss Nancy. Welcome in, welcome in. And the Stock Explorer has a question for you. Where do you get callaloo plants at?
Callaloo plants, you don't want to buy the plants. I got my seed because I believe in supporting small farms, especially if they're organic. It's a channel called the Humble Servants Homestead or Humble Servants Homestead. They have a small Etsy store, and that's where I got my callaloo seeds from. And let me tell you, they're delicious. I ended up for the first time seeing it canned in the grocery store. They were proud of it because, not many people know about it. It's known as Jamaican spinach. And I found it on the shelf. I got one jar because it was our can because it was almost $4.
Mm.
And let me tell you, that was better than cooked spinach, especially canned cooked spinach. And I was hooked. And of course, I'm going to have lots and lots of hot peppers, from medium hot up to extremely dangerous hot. But I also plan on, making my own pepper spray. And you can also use hot peppers as bug deterrents as well. Make pepper spray, regular little mild pepper spray, and spray on your plants, and bugs get really mad at you for doing that.
Yeah, they don't like hot flavors either.
Mm-mm.
Hey, Corner Clubhouse Cabals, welcome in. We're glad you're here.
But Malabar spinach, it's going to need a good, strong trellis to grow on. And you can eat the stems, you can eat the leaves, you can eat the berries. You want to save some of the berries so you can have seeds for the next year. But if seeds drop, it'll grow back again the next year in the same spot.
Wow.
And of course, sweet potatoes. I'll have my sweet potatoes. I've got my elephant garlic going now. I've got 3 more beds I need to build. The weather won't cooperate, not one bit.
I know. I walk out to the chicken coop and I'm sinking in the ground. It's so wet out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, it's at least 3 inches deep, if not deeper in some spots. It's bad.
Now, if anybody here would like some of the Hopi red dye amaranth, I have bukus of seeds, y'all. Just go to my channel, see my address on my about page, send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I'll be more than happy to send you some.
That'll be great. You want me to send you a self-addressed stamped envelope? Because I'll be glad to for my winnings.
No, I'm going to mail it all out. I'm going to mail it all out because I hoarded one gift certificate card, and then my other half's boss gave me a $50 birthday gift last night, and that's going to go for shipping as well.
Wow. That's wonderful. And y'all, if anybody wants to help Mama Al out over here at Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. She is sending out 91 gifts.
Yeah.
You can go to her PayPal and help her out with postage. She would greatly appreciate that.
Yep. Yeah.
Um,
Do it PayPal because we know how well YouTube really likes to take money out.
yes, they do. PayPal does too, but at least
Send it friends and family through PayPal and they won't touch anything.
yeah. So yeah, CNC Farm says she's going to send out her envelope tomorrow.
Just give me time because a lot of times I don't get to check the post office because my car's broke down. I don't get to check my post office box, but sometimes once a week. So just bear with me. I'm not going to rip you off. I will send your seeds out.
Well, I think you're just the most generous person on YouTube right now.
Listen, I'm trying to help people survive. And plus, last night I was upset because I hit the 2K, 3K, while my other half was hurt because, when he got hurt, everything just came to a screeching halt because he's a truck driver, and it was his right foot. And when you double break your heel bone, you're not going to be doing no driving.
Exactly.
So he was down, and of course, with him working, I do odd jobs. I'm a private maid, private cook, and I was doing odd jobs to make a little bit of change here and there. But 8 months, no paycheck.
Yeah.
8
And
months.
that really hurts when you don't have that paycheck coming in.
Yeah, it really hurt, but I am so thankful we were stocked up because I'm a firm believer. I'm an old school prepper, not these new school preppers. And we had plenty to eat on. Plenty.
Well, let me tell you a story. I was working full time, and then all of a sudden I couldn't work anymore. So we lost half our income.
Mm-hmm.
And then cash for clunkers. Y'all remember that? My husband
Mm-hmm.
was working in auto parts in a warehouse and lost his job. So we had zero income.
Mm-hmm.
He went out and did scrap metals and
Yep.
collected cardboard to pay our bills. And we had family living with us, and none of them were working.
Mm-hmm.
We had a 100 foot by 400 or 100 foot by 40 foot garden in our backyard. We lived on a 3rd-acre lot, so it took up the majority of the backyard, and we literally fed the family and the neighborhood out of that 4,000 square foot garden. And y'all, I don't know how we made it. It was by the grace of God. Honestly, It was by the grace of God, because I was down. I couldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I had thrown blood clots, and I ended up in the hospital like 3 or 4 times. The last time was I had pneumonia. It was awful. And of course, they thought I had MS at that time. It wasn't MS. It was the ankylosing spondylitis, but I had lost use of my left side and had to regain use of my left side. So if y'all don't believe that there's a God and that the body can heal itself, I'm a living proof of that.
Yeah.
But I also am living proof that God provides. And I tell people all the time, I can't give you anything, but what I can give you is tell you the honest to God's truth of what he did for me.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's just it. And honey, we took care of family. We had my foster dad. Well, his sister had cancer and died from cancer. We helped her out for a little while. We took in his sister, her husband, and 3 kids. We had his mom and stepdad living with us. I had a daughter and grandson living with me at the same time. Then we had another sister-in-law, well, the sister that died from cancer, and her boyfriend moved in on us during all of this. So, we had a house full of folk.
Yep. That's just like I always feel bad when, people are trying to raise money on YouTube or, we need help. I can't cut loose money. I can't. Now, if you were needing seeds, I got your back.
Yeah.
But
Seeds and eggs, I've got your back.
yep, seeds. I used to have chickens, but thanks to turn loose fighting pit bulls, they took out all my chickens, and I'm not going to try to have chickens where I'm at until I can build Fort Knox, because when they can chew through 2 layers of chain link fence, you got a problem.
Right.
And that's what they done. I had my coop prepared for raccoons, possums, none of that was going to get in. I didn't expect metal chewing pit bulls.
Yeah.
And Candy, I saw you. If you want my list, please email me. I'm only doing it by email request.
Well, that's great. And, that's a good way to raise a little extra cash for yourself, too.
Mm-hmm. That's because, I was going to have a website for what I make. Well, that little 3-letter government.
Yeah, they put that
down on that one, but I refuse to comply.
Yeah. And y'all can always mail Teresa if you have something that you're interested in. Thank you for coming by, Linda. I really do appreciate you.
Yes, thank you. Yep. Car rider lane. Okay.
Yeah, CNC Farm says just had to wait 2 months to fix the washer. Speaking of washers, I sit there, it's something electronic with my washing machine because I never know what setting is going to work on what day. Yesterday, I washed the quilt on the bed and prayed before I started it. And I played with that thing for 3 hours before it would wash. Went to do the sheets, and I just unplugged it because I couldn't get it to come back on. My husband comes in, plugs it in, and it runs. No rhyme, no reason. It just has a microphone. So he says, I guess we got a washer machine to buy next, don't we?
They're weird. I'm telling you, they don't make stuff like they used to.
Yeah, but that machine's only 2 years old. That's what I was going to say. That machine's only about 2 years old. It's not old. It shouldn't be doing this. No, he says, I'll never buy another Amana as long as I live.
You look for the old stuff. Sometimes you can find the old stuff at thrift stores.
Yeah, we bought used ones for years, and you just about can't find one today that's not electronic with all the gadgets and stuff. But they are starting to make them again where they don't have the door lock on it and different things. I don't want all the bells and whistles. It's like going out and buying a car. You go out and buy a car and it's got all this gadgets. I said, that's distractions to me.
Nowadays, if you want a car with the chances of an EMP or something like that happening, you want cars from the 60s and 70s. Easy to work on, no electronic in them.
Yeah, and the cash for
of course, if they drop that, you ain't going to be able to get gas regardless. But still, it's not going to eat your car up. These cars nowadays are worthless. They want so much for them, you could actually buy a house for what they want for a vehicle anymore, and it's not worth it. And I know people will laugh at me, but the best washing machines ever made are the old open ones, the ringer washers.
Oh, yeah.
Washed your
and you can buy those. You can still buy those, but they cost you an arm and a leg.
If you find them, if like go to big like flea markets and stuff, you can find them like first Monday. Yeah. Just be careful about the ringer part of it.
Yeah, because I've got my hair caught.
They'll beat your clothes clean. I'm telling you, I loved them. Now, this was many moons ago. I had 2 of them. Absolutely loved them because, now they wash machine only wants to wash your clothes for like 18 minutes. That's not enough. I'd let mine go for 30, 45 minutes. They'd be clean, wring them out, and go hang them on the line. I'm an advocate for, the solar-powered dryer outside.
Well, we're fixing to put up a clothesline. We had a man from church weld me a clothesline, a metal clothesline. We took the metal to him. The metal was donated to us. And so I'm going to have a clothesline, y'all. I'm so excited.
Oh, those T-posts.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it is. It's T-post, 2 of them, and I can put 5 lines on it, and it will support all the weight from all that wet clothes on those two posts. And I can always stick a stick underneath in the middle, like my mother did, to hold it
Yeah,
up.
brace them. Yeah.
Uh,
I didn't get to tell everybody because I haven't got to do the video yet. It was a couple months ago. I had ended up at Goodwill, and they had 2. Now I don't understand why they sold it this way, but it was 2 boxes. It was one end of the T-post set up, and the other box was the other end. They
yeah,
sold them separate. Each box was like on Amazon was $45 to $50. I'm not
yeah.
going.
And I got this done for
Lord.
free. The guy wouldn't even take any money. We offered him money, and he said no.
And on that day, the price tag on them was, what was it, $23, $24, which I would have snagged it up. I didn't have the money. I went back a month later, and I ended up going like on a Sunday when it's half price everything.
Yeah,
They were still there. I like to kill myself getting those things in that basket. And then they also had some huge heavy duty fishing poles. Snagged those too.
yep. And I tell you what, I told my husband, I said, maybe we need to just invest in one of those 5-gallon buckets with the plunger to
Mm-hmm.
wash the clothes.
You can. Now I'll tell you another way I've done it, because I've lived off grid for a long time, y'all. We have running water, but we don't have electricity. And I tell people, you got to wean yourself off. I come over to family to use the shed and cook in the kitchen and everything, because they got an oven. There's been a many a time, those big blue like buckets. Well, not buckets, but tubs that have the like the rope handles, one on each side.
Right.
Fill that up with water, put your detergent in there, put your clothes in, pull your pants legs up, or either wear shorts, stomp those clothes clean.
Exactly.
I've done it
Get
a
you a couple of
many
good
a time.
rocks. Go to scrub it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got washboards. I've had washboards for years, and I told my husband,
Mm-hmm.
one of these days I'm gonna be pulling them off the wall and using them.
I've washed clothes in the bathtub as long as you soak them and you get in there. I know it sounds weird, but people,
You got to
our
do what you got to do.
ancestors survived. We
I've
can
had
do
to
it
wash.
too.
I've had to wash clothes and dishes in the bathtub. You
Yep,
talking
I've
about a
had to
clean
do that
bathtub?
before.
Because
Mm-hmm.
my bathtub was scrubbed and then it was bleached before I did anything else.
Yep, yep. By the time you got done doing laundry and or the dishes, that bathtub's the cleanest place in the whole house.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I've done it all. We lived in a campground when my girls were little.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest daughter, everybody in the campground called her running bare bottoms because she wouldn't keep her clothes on. I'd get
Yep.
her dressed, and I was pregnant. I'd get her dressed, and no sooner did she hit the tent, because we were living in a tent, she'd hit
Mm-hmm.
the tent doors, and the clothes would come flying, and then the diaper.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything was gone. And did what we had to do to survive.
Mm-hmm.
People
You
don't
got to.
understand that. So I've been homeless at least 2
Mm-hmm.
times, maybe 3 times in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all,
It's
you
rough,
just
but you can survive.
you pull yourself
The
up by
main
your
thing is the problem a lot of people have is they don't believe in themselves. And if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to make it. You have to believe in yourself. And if anybody says anything to you wrong, quit taking it. Water off a duck's back, y'all. You got to get strong, because people are getting ugly. They're getting more hateful, and I've been watching it, and it's ever since
Oh
came
yeah,
out. People are getting hateful.
yes.
Hateful.
And
Water off a duck's back, y'all. Just don't even worry about it.
I have to say this: I pull myself up by my bootstraps and I carry
Mm-hmm.
on, and I do that all the time. But you're right about people. are getting ugly. And I do have a sign in my bathroom that says, "Act like a duck, smooth on the surface and paddling like hell underneath."
Yes, yes, act calm as can be. People's got to quit stressing about things. That's another thing. Don't stress about stuff because you're doing nothing but beating your immune system down. And I'm telling you right now, you need to focus on making sure that your immune system is as strong as it can be with what's going on and what's coming down the pike. Um, but yeah, I've been homeless, let's see, 3 or 4 times. The longest was over 6 months in my car. That was
Yeah.
rough. But you know what? I'm a survivor. We were backstabbed. It was a long story, but that's okay. I've come out stronger because of that. Always remember, anything gets hard, it's a learning lesson. Learn
Exactly.
from it. Realize I'm not going to get myself in this situation, or I'm not going to repeat bad choices. Learn from them, become stronger, and move on.
And don't be afraid
Women's
to,
got to get tough now. And I'm not talking about being mean. You've got to be tough. The women of the ancestors of ours, them old girls were tough and they survived, y'all.
yeah. And you got to, not everybody is your friend. I use the word
No.
friend because I am friendly towards everybody, but not
Mm-hmm.
everybody is your friend. And you're going to have to
Mm-hmm.
learn to let go of toxic friendships
Yes.
because there are people out there that will use you,
Mm-hmm.
abuse you, gaslight you, and then act like they haven't done anything wrong. Let them go.
Yep.
Let them
And another
stew in their
thing,
own pot, and
another
you do
thing
what you
people's
need to do.
yep. Another thing people's got to realize: quit showing your preps, what you have stocked back. You are putting a bullseye on yourself. A
Yeah,
bullseye.
yeah,
I see so many. Oh, we're going to go on a pantry tour. Nope. No, you ain't. You're going to see some. Like in my videos when I can and everything. You see some of what I make. You had no clue how much I make, except the elderberry syrup video, but that was so people know how much I had for sale. But
right.
yeah, no, you're not going to get a tour of anything. I might show you some of what I got on a clearance run or something like that, but no, because people will be your friends until it's time for when the food's gone and they think they're going to come shopping. You're going
Now,
to have a lot of people do that.
there's an old saying that your best friend is a dollar in your pocket. You will have
Hmm.
friends as long as you have money, but when the money runs out, where are your friends?
Yep, that's the absolute truth. Absolute truth. Because people don't realize you need to be stocking, because a lot of people, they believe what media tells you. And guess what? They're not your friend. They're
No,
going to lie to you hand over fist and have not a problem going to sleep at night. And I don't see how they do it. I just don't.
they have no morals left. Part of it.
No, morals and ethics are not taught anymore.
Mm-mm.
Because, man, these children coming up now, there's a few exceptions here and there. I don't look forward to them running the country because, sorry, but they don't have a lick of sense. They don't. Not like we did when we were kids. And I still don't understand how a lot of Gen X have raised the children that they have nowadays. It's scary because we weren't raised like that.
Yeah, and I love seeing these young uh, homesteading families
Mm-hmm.
that are actually doing what is right and good for their family,
Mm-hmm.
and they have got their head in the right place and their mind set on taking care of their own, which is what our parents all did. Now, we would
Mm-hmm.
help neighbors out if neighbors were in trouble, but it was you had to take care of your family,
Yep.
you
Because
know.
after a while, they got tired of people coming up with their hands open. Well, what have you done to help yourself? A lot of people are getting bad about that, always wanting something, but never, try to try to do for themselves because they get used to everybody helping them and they keep on expecting it.
Well, that was what we were dealing with family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say everybody that came, but some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to tell them, look, we have to set limitations because we cannot support you.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to support you.
Mm-mm.
And, and we had to tell people to leave. We didn't want to because they were coming in and using our house as a flop house, and we're not a flop house. This is our home. And if
Mm-hmm.
you can't respect it, then you got to go. And of course, we got a lot of flack for that. But, you got to do what you got to do. Yes, Jamie, it's called tough love.
Yep. Tough love.
And,
Yep.
and
And
it's
believe
sad.
me, I'm a tough old bird.
And it's sad when you have to use tough love with
Yeah.
what are supposed to be adults.
Mm-hmm. And another thing I'm noticing a lot of in some of this prepping community, I pray for them. I really do. Because no. But I know a lot of people, oh, I've got a generator. I'm going to be fine. Well, one, what are you going to do when you can't get any more gas?
Yep.
Two, the worst thing is fire up that generator when something goes bad. They're going to be listening to you for you.
Yeah, they're going to know.
And they're going to know there's a generator going. They got a reason to be running a generator. I don't have a generator, don't want one. I mean, it'd be handy at the house, but no, because, I'm not going to let them know. And plus, I don't have a refrigerator, so I don't have any use for a generator either. They'll know where to go shopping at. People have to learn to wean themselves off electricity. The ancestors didn't need electricity. They survived.
The only thing that I have on electricity that I wish I could fix right now is our well pump.
Mm-hmm.
Because they require you to have it electronic in a lot of counties.
Well, right. They have been coming out with some very good solar well pumps.
Yeah, but
Really
trying to
good
get it attached and set
Mm-hmm.
up is another thing.
Yeah.
Jamie, a wood stove, a fire pit, a charcoal grill, they're all great. I can't
Mm-hmm.
have a wood stove in the house, but I can sure cook on a grill or an open fire. I learned that as a child, how to cook
Mm-hmm.
outdoors.
Yeah.
Fishing. I don't eat a lot of fish, but let me tell you, if times got tough, I'd be eating me some fish. I'd be going down to the river or stream and catching some fish.
Because you can do jugs, you can jug fish, you can tie that jug to a long rope, and well, not so a heavy rope, but it'll float around. People need.
I woke him
vicious, vicious.
I woke him up. His head was way down here.
I have prepped and put back fishing supplies, snare lines, because freedom seeds are going to run out. People don't realize unless you've got supplies put back, that's going to run out, and you're going to have to be very picky how you use them.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of protection out there that, blow darts. I'm good with the blow gun. Very good. I was trained a long time ago. Snares, fishing supplies. People have to stock up on everything. And you can put it in little tubs and run with them as long as you don't fill the tubs too heavy. That's just like one day I know before it all blows up, I want to have a freeze dryer.
Yeah.
Because I want to get away from canning jars. Don't get me wrong. I am a canning addict. I am a rebel canner as well. But when you have to run and get gone, them jars are awful heavy.
Yeah,
Awful
they are.
heavy to have to carry. I would prefer to have tubs of MREs, homemade MREs that taste good, because you can get hundreds of meals in tubs and run with those.
Yeah, Candy, I want to tell you, if your mom is on oxygen, you can request from the oxygen company to bring you an emergency backup tank.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it's not the little tanks. It's a great big tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you can't afford a generator, ask them for that, or go out and buy you a couple of tanks and have them filled and store them properly so that you would have backup oxygen for your mom.
Oh, believe me, we are meat eaters here. I'm hardcore carnivore, but I also was raised meat and 2 to 3 vegetables with your meals. I do
Right.
like my veggies, but I mean, you can buy already freeze dried meat. It's not cheap, but when you can make like your own instant rice and your own meals and just add that to it, seal that up, and it only takes because anybody can build a campfire. Anybody
Yeah.
can. And it don't have to be big. You can boil water. It's not hard to
Jamie,
boil water and pour that water in those meals and you're good to go.
yeah. Jamie asked a question. She said, her husband keeps saying, what about if there's an earthquake? Jars will break. They make one piece canning lids that are not
Hmm.
approved by the 3-letter government,
Yeah.
but people have been canning with them forever. The Amish use them, and they don't break the seal. It's almost impossible to get the seal to break loose to open the jar. So, you know, get some of those lids and use them. Learn how to use them. What I do is I put them on. When I go to can, I do just like I would any other canning lid. I put them on there finger tight, no tighter. Process them. Bring the
Hmm.
jars out, set them on the counter, let them sit for a couple of minutes, and crank that lid down
Yeah.
and leave them alone. And they're sealed.
Now I'll tell you about the jars cracking in an earthquake. A lot of people store their jars on shelves. That's fine. Put a lip, about a 2-inch lip, around those shelves.
Yeah.
Them jars ain't going nowhere.
Or
They'll
some kind of
rock
strap.
and roll around the shelf, but they're not going to come off of that shelf.
Yeah. You might
And
lose some of them, but
And
you
a lot
won't
of
lose
times
all
I
of them.
just store them right back in the box after they've cooled down and I've washed them and everything. And yeah, and that way you can write all on the box as well.
Yeah.
But you
Freeze.
can make freeze dried ready meals easy. It's same as dehydrating. Dehydrate your vegetables. Make your own spices to add in it. I've got videos showing how to make instant your instant grits, your instant oatmeal mixes, instant rice mixes. Now, the only thing you'd have to buy is, if you wanted to, is the freeze dried meat. Or if you know you're going to be somewhere where you have meat and you can cook it on either campfire or something like that, you don't have to put the meat in the mix at all. You can just do it that way, seal it up, and all it takes is a cup or two of water. Put that in there, seal, close the bag back up. There's a lot of ways around things, people. You just got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Study,
Yeah.
study. The information's
Research.
out there.
Research. Research. Research.
Hmm.
We both say that. Do your
Hmm.
research, because I will put stuff out and I'll say, do not take my word for this. Do your own research,
Hmm.
because I may show you how I do it, but I
Hmm.
may not be doing it the correct way. So you need to do your own research. And y'all, it's just amazing to me the amount of knowledge that we're getting out of YouTube and their homesteading community, because you can go to any of the channels that are homesteaders and you will find bukus of
Yep.
information. But y'all, that information is not going to always be there. By the
No,
books.
because I don't know how long my information on my herbalism is going to stay up since that 3-letter gooberment got that bill passed. I don't know. That's why I've got everything backed up.
Bears crochet critters. There are air drying dehydration systems that you can build. I was talking about one that's an airframe that you would put outside it, and you would use window screen
Hmm.
on
Yep,
the
I've
top and
built
bottom.
them.
You need a little latch hook to close it. You set it up on sawhorses or something. Make sure it's secure so it's not going to blow over. That's one way you can do it. Make sure it's going to be sunny and dry, though. You don't want to put it out in the rain. You can buy the little bags that you put on your back porch or hang on your porch, dry herbs and stuff in. So, yeah, there are ways to do dehydrating without electricity.
Yeah, it's called sun drying.
The Native Americans dried meat.
Yeah, I've been planning on doing a video on showing people how to do that. I've done that many a time.
Yeah. And a matter of fact, a lot of them up in Alaska still do that. They'll hang the meat way up high because they have to hang it up high enough where the animals cannot get to it. But they freeze dry their meat like that. Literally freeze dry it. And
natives tribes down here, we smoke dried ours.
Yeah.
They dig a pit, start the fire in there, and as it was dying down, they would build the frame around it. And I went one step further from mine. I built the racks and everything. And when it came time to smoke the jerky and everything, I took an old flat sheet and threw over it.
Yeah.
And that way it trapped the little bit of heat and the smoke in there. And let me tell you, that jerky was good.
Well, we used smokehouses for years around, in the South to smoke meats. That's how they preserve the meats.
A lot of people don't know you can build a smokehouse very easy. Cinder blocks make amazing smokehouses. You just have to build a wooden frame for the door and put a wood door on there. Now you gotta be careful. I try to do just plain wood, nothing waterproofed or anything like that, because chemicals, you don't want no chemicals in there. But yeah, you dig your fire pit away from the smokehouse, trench the pipe, do a trench up to the back of the smokehouse, put a pipe in there, funnel that smoke right into the smokehouse. It's easy.
Yeah.
There's so much out there.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping to finally get that 100-acre farm out in BFE away from the city. And that way, man, y'all going to be busy. I'm going to be doing all kinds of videos then.
Yeah. One other thing I want to say is if you have an extra Bible in your house, you need to find a good hiding place for that, because they are going after Christians in this country. And they will be going door to door and collecting Bibles and burning them. I guarantee you, they did it in the Ukraine back during the Cold War. They're going to do it here. They did it.
They're after everybody. If you don't think, it don't matter if you're Christian or not. If you don't think like the left does, they're coming after everybody.
Yeah, and they are collecting names. I'm sure they're watching our videos. They are collecting names, and they can track you because of the IP addresses connected to every account. They know exactly where you're at. So don't think, even if you claim to be off grid, they still know where you're at.
Oh, see, on my phone, I keep my GPS off constantly.
Yeah.
I keep my GPS off constantly.
Yeah.
I try not to pay for much at all with plastic. I don't have credit cards because I refuse to be a slave to the banks. Don't have a bank account. Now, I do have a PayPal card. That's all I need. Yeah, pay for cash. My daddy taught me that a long time ago.
God we trust.
He said, don't leave a paper trail.
And God we trust. And God we trust, all others pay cash.
I pay cash.
I say my dad and grandparents were the same way. Don't do the credit card if you don't have to do the credit card, because all it's doing is sucking your money away from you. Now, my grandfather was in his late 80s and had a credit card sent to him, and it was for $100,000. And he laughed. He says, if I died tomorrow, they'd never get a penny of the money I spent back.
No,
he went on a shopping spree. He got him an air conditioner and a new refrigerator and stove, and he was happy.
I have never owned a credit card. Don't intend to. Now, granted, they're good for emergency purposes. But the problem is, a lot of people don't realize if you get that you have to use it for emergency purpose, you want to pay that back as fast as you can, or it's going to eat you alive. Because when you make a payment, you're basically paying off the interest. You're not even making a payment for the actual debt.
Right.
And they will eat you alive over interest. That's why I know if I can't pay with my PayPal card, what little bit I have in that account or cash, guess what? Don't need it.
The other thing that you can do, and I'm sitting here thinking, I think I just forgot what I was going to say. Make sure that you don't have all your money in the bank. If you do have a bank account, have some money on hand. But I'm going to tell you something. Your money is going to become worthless at some point.
Yep.
So you better have a community built up around you that you can barter with.
See, my problem is I don't.
Well, you've got me. I'm not too far
where I'm at, I can't do it. Can't have a community at all, and that irks me more than anything. But no, them people.
Well, you've got me, and I'm just down the road, so that's we can contact one another. Matter of fact, at the end of this video, I'm going to make sure that I email you my phone number so that you can have it. And I'm not even
already. I laugh at people. It's like it's a contest for them. All right, if it hits the fan, you got to come here. If it hits the fan, I have like 5, 6 bug out places. And then here's my worry is, oh Lord, if I bug out over there, am I going to make these other 4 mad? Or if I bug out over here, I'm going to upset the other ones. But yeah, y'all don't trust your money in the bank, especially. Keep just the bare minimum in there, but you're going to have to stash it good wherever you keep it and know where you can get a hold of it real fast. But don't put all your eggs in one basket, y'all. Don't.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Bear. Thank you, Bears Crochet Critters, for coming by. I really appreciate it.
Yep, definitely. It's always good to see new people.
Andy Dudette says she's not far.
I'm still waiting for her to get goats. I want to hear if anybody gave her a goat yet. Man, I'd be jealous. I miss my goats because when I was a teenager, back when, things were, let's just say, more normal, I had entrepreneurship. I was a budding little farmer because we had moved out on the outskirts of Memphis out in, Lucy. And I learned real fast back then when I was buying goats, because you could buy a goat anywhere from $15 to $25. I bought my goats, my female goats already bred. So there were some times I'd get 1 goat bred and I end up with 2 goats, 3 goats, 4 goats.
You had goat math.
I had over 100 goats at one time. I was just loving it. And I had over 100 rabbits. Yeah, it's not hard to do, y'all. And what I wish people get to realize is our ancestors didn't feed their animals all this fancy stuff they have now because they don't need it. Our goats and stuff back in the day when my daddy was alive and we had the farm, sweet feed. That's all the goats got was sweet feed here and there once in a while and I just don't understand people telling on their channels, oh, the goats don't graze. The goats only don't eat the grass.
Really?
What kind of goats do you have?
You need a fence and you need a moat to keep them in.
We just had regular barbed wire fencing. Our goats didn't escape. They weren't crazy. But let me tell you, you think I had to mow grass?
No.
They ate the grass. They ate the vines. off the fence.
They'll eat your flowers.
You had to watch. Oh yeah, I learned the hard way about the goats eating the flowers. I used to have a huge houseplant collection. And yeah, they came up there and just killed every one of them. Apparently they were really delicious. But yeah, back then you could easily get animals, chickens. I've had chickens, ducks, turkeys, pheasants, everything. And I know one day I'm going to have it back again.
Hey, Bad Stain, welcome in, my friend.
But yeah, people just have to be positive. They need to study up on what our ancestors survived off of. They didn't have all this fancy stuff. Back then, a chicken was lucky if it got chopped corn or scraps. A lot of times, the scraps and the slop from the tables, that went to the pigs.
Yeah.
The chickens didn't get stuff like that. The hogs got slopped.
Yeah, the hogs got slopped, the dogs got scrapped, and the chickens, they had to fend for themselves.
Yep. Free range. Fended for themselves until it becomes Sunday dinner time.
Yep. Then it was a chicken in a pot and maybe two.
Yes. But no, I was going to warn people, be careful where you get your chicks from.
Yeah.
I've been informed by several of the owl family members that they went through and got their chicks at one of the biggest chick hatcheries, and that came along later on. There was a letter from the 3-letter government that they were now on a list about bird flu.
Oh yeah.
And
they
were put on a list, and I'm like going, oh no, I won't be buying from there.
Get to the farm, welcome in. You're new here. I'm so glad that you're here.
But yeah, y'all, if you buying chicks, try to get them locally. Pay with cash. No trace.
Buy directly from someone that you trust.
Someone you trust, because they can't trace that dollar bill.
Right. And listen, I went to take something back to a store one day. We paid cash for it, and they wanted my driver's license. I said, "Are you out of your freaking mind? This is a return, a cash return." I sent the company a nice little letter and told them I wasn't buying anything else from their one world government company no more. Thank you. Get to the farm. I'm glad that you've been visiting for a while, and I'm glad you're catching the first live. We appreciate you being here.
I told you I'd eventually get to make it to one of your lives.
Yes, ma'am.
A lot of times I'm on my phone, and until we get an upgrade, which is going to take, that's on down the road, then I'll be able to get on my phone for lives. But yeah.
I'm over here going through cough drops. I've still got that cough, that sinus cough just doesn't.
Everybody's dealing with that because of the weather. And that's another thing. I hear a lot of people go, I just don't understand about this crazy weather. You're not going to.
They're messing with the weather. Speaking of weather, did you see the balloon? The balloon that went across.
Yes, if it had been me, it'd been down the second it got a quarter of an inch into our space.
Yeah, they said it was loaded with explosives, so.
They lie a lot. They try to say they couldn't take it down in Montana because they were worried about hurting people.
Well, now they're saying that
when did Montana get so packed full of people?
Exactly.
I'm going, that is such a lie.
But they also said that, during the Trump administration that they had one come into the U.S. airspace and that the military kept it from him. Now, look, he was the commander-in-chief back then. If they did that, then they were violating, many laws.
That did not happen. And they try to blame him for everything. I'm like, this is great. Can't y'all take blame for yourselves for being the weakest government we've ever had? It's sad. It truly is.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people just don't realize there's a reason why they keep passing out that monopoly money. We don't have the gold anymore to back up, and they
No,
quit
they sold
backing
that
up
down the
our
river a long
bills
time
with
ago.
gold. They quit that. A lot of people don't realize they're setting us up, because the deeper we go into debt and we can't pay off our debt, another country can come in, buy our debt, and own us.
Well, I
And
was
that's what
joking.
they're trying to do.
I was joking around about the balloon because I said they were looking for that illustrious golden egg, or they were looking at the land they just purchased.
Mm-hmm. That and the other guy who's buying up all the land.
Yeah, they're all in cahoots.
I'm telling you, they are. People don't realize. I mean, they're not even worried about that sicko that, well, we know who took him out. Um, that sicko, they haven't done nothing about that laptop. They haven't. Yeah, if it was one of us, we'd be so far buried under the jailhouse, it wouldn't even be funny.
We would have been Martha Stewarted.
Well, I have to say now, I look at it like this about her. That was her money. That was her stocks, whatever she wanted to do with it. But you know what? She went to jail. She done her time.
Yeah,
How many of these other people haven't done it
none.
and have
None.
gotten away with it? Now, I'm not a big Martha Stewart person because I'm old school. I can't get all that foo foo. But
Me
I
either.
give her credit. I give her credit because she done her time.
Yeah, and
How
she
many
came out,
people?
and she came out smelling like roses.
Mhm. A lot of people would be happy to get insider information.
Not only did she serve her time, but she helped other jailmates get an
Mhm.
education and a job.
Mhm. And I look at it like this: it was her money to begin with. Just
Right.
because I mean, anybody in the stock business would love to have good information to buy stuff, but they took her down to make a
An
point.
example.
Yeah, I guarantee you there's a whole lot more bigger people than Martha Stewart is that's getting away with it all
Well,
and getting away with
we got
murder.
we got the Pelosi's.
Yeah. Oh Lord, I tell you, that whole gang, I tell you that back in the day, it'd be a firing squad. And I know our founding fathers are just absolutely rolling in their graves because this is not the country that they founded. It is
No,
not.
it's not. And all the people that came over here to escape religious oppression and
Mm-hmm.
built this great country.
Yeah, that's about right. It's becoming a company.
Well, it is a company now. The United
Mm-hmm.
States is a company, y'all. Um, but it was built upon Christian values, Judeo Christian values, and Native American wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
It's in our Constitution.
Yeah,
And
because
they're ripping it
without
to
the
shreds.
Iroquois, the Constitution would have never been wrote because they took it from the Federated Tribes, the Iroquois Federated Tribes, to write the Constitution.
Candy, um, it was read on the House floor yesterday. The Constitution was read on the floor yesterday. I'm so proud of our new House of Representatives leader because he is cleaning house.
Mm-hmm.
He really and truly is. And we need men with backbones in this country. And I'm like, where are all the men at? I hear women talking about stuff all the time, and I don't see the men doing nothing.
Too much soy products.
Is that
Too
what it
much.
is?
Too much. Well, a lot of people don't realize soy is massively high in estrogen. Look what they feed children in school: soy burgers, soy products, soy sauce, soy this, soy that.
And they want to
And
feed it to our
now,
chickens too.
and yeah, a lot of people don't realize a lot of the chicken food is soy based.
Yep.
Soybeans, stay away from. Now, I use soy once in a blue moon. I'm sorry, sometimes stir fry has to have some soy in it. But soy sauce, that's the only thing to me soybean is good for is soy sauce. That's it. But people
Oh,
don't realize it's in everything. You can't even buy vegetable oil anymore. It's all soy oil. Quit calling it vegetable. Call it soy.
hey, Joy
'Cause-
Bless Life. Welcome in, my friend. Yeah, now I use lecithin. It's a supplement,
Mhm,
and it comes in sunflower lecithin, or you can buy soy lecithin.
mhm,
But it's something that your brain needs, but it doesn't reproduce,
mhm.
and it's
But
really
yeah,
good.
I avoid soy as much as possible. That's why when I have chickens, I make my own feed. It's usually a mix of chicken scratch that I'm very picky about what's in the scratch and black oil sunflower seeds. That's all my chickens get fed. I don't believe in the laying mash and the laying mix because it's all soybean based.
Yeah,
Every bit of it.
Candy Dudette said liquid creamers are the same. Yeah, and
I
the
don't
powdered
use
creamers
liquid
have
creamers.
gunpowder in it. I mean,
I don't use liquid creamers because most of the time I'm allergic to them all because they're sticking artificial sweetener and everything, and yep, that's a death trap for me.
yeah, and see, we use milk or cream.
Yep, that's the only thing that goes in my coffee. No, I don't do liquid creamers. Will make me sicker than a dog.
Yeah, Candy, they put phosphorus in your powdered creamers, and
Mm-hmm.
phosphorus is nothing more than gunpowder.
Yep, and they use sucralose. All those. I mean, if you can pronounce half of what's in those creamers, good luck to you. I'm proud of you
Yeah,
because I can't pronounce them words.
it's literally getting to the point where you need to take your phone with you, and every time you pick up an item in the grocery store, you need to read the ingredients and then
Mm-hmm.
stand there and look it up and see what you're buying. Because I guarantee you, if you read it, you'll put it back on the shelf and you'll go over to the fresh food,
Mm-hmm.
produce, and buy there and not somewhere else. And
It's just
buy
like
what
my cake. I had to cheat on my birthday cake because I wasn't going to have time to make a cake from scratch. You should have seen how long it took me. I could have made the cake by the time I read all those labels. But I found a cake mix that I could have, and I actually found a frosting that I could have. And that made me happier than anything because a lot of people don't realize you can't get most of your cake mixes anymore without either artificial sweetener or red dye 40 in it.
exactly.
Yep, I try not to use soybean anything. And I don't use canola. Canola is extremely bad for you as well, even though
Yeah.
they hype it up like they do.
And say the heart doctors will push the artificial oleo
Ugh,
uh,
yeah.
stuff, for you to buy. And I keep telling them, nope, I'm using butter. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to clog your arteries. You're going to end up having a heart attack. I said, God made it. But
Yep. I plan on, like I tell people, I plan on leaving this earth fully seasoned. No butter. I either use butter, I use ghee. Now the ghee I was going to talk about, all you're doing is you can have a shelf life of canned ghee for over 10 years or better. Because what you're doing is what causes the canned butter to have a shorter shelf life is the milk fat in it. The milk fat is what goes rancid so fast.
oh
And
wow,
that's why I make ghee. It takes a little bit longer, but that it's pure butter without the milk fat in it. And all you do is once it gets to that right temperature and that milk fat starts to coagulate, you just scoop that out and you have pure beautiful goldenness. It's more pure butter than what butter is. And what I do is once I get all that as much of the milk fat as I can out, then if you sanitize your jars, make sure they're perfectly clean, your lids, bands, everything, and make sure your jars are hot. You can pour that ghee in there very carefully because you want to make sure you get absolutely as much as the milk fat out. You get it to a certain level in your jar. I do about a half an inch headspace. Put that lid and band on there really good, tighten it down. It seals itself. And you have at least a 10-year shelf life on it.
Wow.
At least.
Hey, Storyteller Donnie, welcome in. Welcome in. I'm glad you use half and half. Candy, yeah, liquid creamers have soy oil in them, but so does Cool Whip.
Yep.
I don't use Cool Whip.
No, I use whipping cream.
Whipping cream.
Whipping cream to make that Cool Whip. Yeah, Cool Whip is just nasty. Absolutely nasty.
I use Cool Whip every once in a blue moon, but it is once in a blue moon. Mm-hmm. And that's only if I don't have whipping cream on hand.
Mm-hmm. Yep, half and half or whole milk is what I do for my coffee. I don't do watered down milk.
And you can buy heavy cream or half and half in the store and make butter. Yeah. If you get it in a bind. Mm-hmm. All you do is go past the whipping cream stage and just keep beating.
You can use half and half because that's, half cream, half milk. You can make butter. You can make cheese with that. You can actually, there's still a little bit of cream left in whole milk. I've done many a time taking gallons of whole milk and added 1 or 2 jugs of whipping cream into that and make wonderful cheese.
Yeah. I haven't made any cheese yet, but that's on my agenda.
I love to make cheese. I just haven't had time to do it.
Yeah, and you can take your milk that's going bad and make farm cheese.
Mm-hmm. That's just like you can also when you make homemade butter, that whey a lot of people throw away. No, save that, and when you go to make homemade bread, use that instead of water.
Yeah, because that's buttermilk. That's the real buttermilk.
Well, I'm used to the other buttermilk, the thick, happy buttermilk.
Yeah,
but we call it whey because it's the leftover from making the butter or the cheese, and let me tell you, that makes some of the best bread there is.
Oh yeah, and that's the way our grandparents cooked. Mm-hmm. They didn't waste anything. They used everything, and you ate everything.
It's just like they used everything on the hog except for the squeal.
Oh yeah, y'all! I'm going to be a part of CNC Farms' upcoming collaboration in March, but I'm also going to be a part of Chris and Larry Homestead's 1900 cookbook collaboration. I was one of the 5 people picked, and I'm looking so forward to that cookbook. It's a foreign cookbook from 1908 that Chris has put out, annotated. It had an unknown author, and she's redone everything in it. And these recipes, y'all, I don't know if I'd fix some of them, but you can learn how they cooked back in that time period. Everything was scratch cooked. So you're going to learn some techniques and stuff from reading that. Joy in the Parks, welcome in.
I look for old cookbooks because, that's the foods, recipes you're going to survive off of. I have a very old Mennonite Amish cookbook from the 1800s. Yeah, I love those recipes.
Oh, yeah. I wish I had my mother's cookbook. I mean, it was really a thick cookbook. Mm-hmm. Get my hand in the right spot. Really thick cookbook. The pages were so brittle back then, though. I mean, it was really old. It was so old that you couldn't read the label on the cookbook. Mm-hmm. The cover. But the recipes in there, everything was scratch cooking.
Yes. And that's the one thing that's the downfall of especially Americans.
Yeah.
And I just, it floors me every time I meet a woman that don't know how to cook.
There's a lot of them.
A man that don't know how to cook.
We were taught
as a kid, we all cooked.
Oh
I
yeah.
learned to start cooking when I was almost 5. I was frying eggs before I was 5 years old. My first turkey, now they helped me put it in the oven and everything. I had to cook my first turkey at 8 years old because, well, people are supposed to know how to cook.
Yeah.
But people who don't know how to cook, that just, it almost makes me want to cry. It's like, how are you going to survive? Because at, number 5, number 10's not going to be there.
Right. Joy in the Parks. I'm glad to hear that you're going to have some new channel content coming out. She was having an issue with releasing her video footages of state parks, state and federal parks.
Oh,
I'm glad that she's able to do that now. Candy Dudette, I am so glad that your aunt allowed you to copy recipes out of that Greek cookbook. That is awesome. Maybe you should share some of those recipes.
yeah, Greek food is so good.
I love me some Greek food. Yeah,
Oh, my.
we have a Greek restaurant. The only one left in West Tennessee, I think, is in Lexington, Tennessee,
Hmm.
and it's not Greek anymore.
I think I know that place. I've ate there several times. If
It's
I
called
remember right.
Grecians.
Yeah,
Somebody,
Grecian Steakhouse.
yeah,
Yes.
somebody called it Gretchen's, and I just died laughing. I said, "No, honey, that's Grecian." And I walked in there and I asked him, I said, "Where's the moussaka at? We don't serve that anymore." I said, "Are you a Greek restaurant? What is wrong with you?"
No, they're not Greek anymore. There.
Uh-uh.
That's just like down here. I'm still trying to get used to it. You go to any now. We don't go out to eat and it very often. We do once in a while, but we're very picky where we go because we like it, cooked, home cooked. Once in a while, we'll break down, go to the Chinese buffet. Hardly any Chinese people in that Chinese buffet cooking. I'm like, going, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. What's going on here? It's supposed to be Chinese buffet. And they
Exactly.
have Mexican people making the sushi. And I'm like, going,
Yeah.
all righty, this is interesting.
Well, you go to the Chinese restaurants and all you see are Mexicans in there. You go to the Mexican
Hmm.
restaurant and the Chinese are over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. It really is. But we have a few little places. We have one restaurant. It's called The Cupboard in Memphis. We like to go to eat. It's been there for ages.
Yeah, forever. And I used to love
Hmm.
eating there.
And
Uh,
then there's another one closer to the house called The Haystack. That's the
haven't been
best
there.
place to eat. That's the one if you saw the ice video where he made me get out of the house and go out for breakfast.
Okay.
The ham steak breakfast, you can't beat that place. It was just right, just a hair under $10 for a ham steak, biscuits and gravy, 2 eggs and grits. You can't beat that.
Yeah. Now, Memphis had the Fairview and they had
Yes,
the best ice cream ever.
frozen custard.
Yeah. And my dad, when I guess I was about 11 years old, he knew the guy that owned it and he told him, he says, "I want to give her a gallon of ice cream." So he ordered me a special ice cream cone
Hmm.
that held a gallon of ice cream. And I think Daddy paid $3 for it. It wasn't that expensive back then. And I sat there in the front seat of our truck and ate the whole thing. And I kept asking Daddy, "Don't you want some of this? Don't you?" And I was so sick afterwards, but it was so good.
Yes.
But we
See,
had good
yeah,
restaurants back then.
everything was home cooked. That's why. Everything was home cooked. It was being delivered by big trucks, but it wasn't frozen stuff. It's already made. But the Fairview, yeah, over when it was by the fairgrounds, I lived about 3 blocks away from it.
Wow.
We'd walk up there.
Well, say Daddy used to take me to the Greek restaurants, and the owner would pay me a quarter to cuss my daddy out in Greek. He'd tell me some Greek word. He'd pay me a quarter or give me a plate of fries. So it was funny because I don't remember any of the words. Now, they're buried back here in the brain somewhere. But when I lived in New York State, I worked for Greeks, and they started cussing me out in Greek, and I pulled them into the kitchen by their necktie, and I told them everything
Mhm.
they just said to me, and I said, "I am not one of your women. You're not going to talk to me like
Yeah,
that. And if you ever do again, there's going to be a defamation of character suit," because I knew every word
Yep.
you just said. And I
Mhm.
spit it back at him. I said, "How do you like it coming back at you?" And turned
Mhm.
around and walked back out. They didn't know what to
Mhm.
think. And they always treated me with respect after that because they do not respect their women.
No, they don't. There's a lot of nationalities that don't.
Yeah, and
That's just like my daddy. He used to, when he was a rambler in his younger ages, used to work down in Mexico. And well, he learned how to do all the cuss words down there, and he taught me most of them. And I used to be a demo lady at Sam's, and that's why my body's broken, because I was a demo lady for over 6.5 years and standing on concrete for over 8 hours in the same spot, not moving much. It messes your feet up. I have two bulging discs in the middle of my back because of it, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Uh, yeah, the Mexican ladies would come in there and go to cussing me, of course, in Mexican and everything, and I'd turn around and give it right back. And I told them, talk to me like that again and find out what happens to you.
yeah.
Yeah, they didn't come in there and say that to me no more. No, they
Well,
were
I mean,
nice as could be.
one of the places I worked at up there was two brothers. I'm not going to tell you what I used to call them because I don't talk like that anymore. But
Mhm.
it was not nice. Uh, every night we would close at midnight, and
Mhm.
they'd always have one waitress on. And about 11:30, every electrical guy in the county would come into that place to eat, and every booth in there would be filled. And there's only one waitress. And I got all the orders one night, and I asked him, I said, "Can you help me pour the drinks?" And he just sat there. So I got all their drinks. I turned in all my tickets, and I walked out the door. The
Mhm.
next morning, he was at my house. "Oh my God, oh my God, why'd you do that?" I said, "Because you're lazy and you sit on your butt. You're making all the
Mhm.
money. I'm getting pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
We're waiting on all these people, and you know that they're going to come in here, and you've got one waitress."
Mhm.
And there was like 30 booths in this place, 30 or 40, and all of them were full, which means a booth would hold 4 people. So four times 40. Come on
Yeah.
now.
That's too much.
Yeah, and
And
so
people don't respect waitresses. They don't
and
realize that
I had one
they
table.
survive off of tips. They're not getting paid by the
Well,
restaurant.
they've never raised the tip, the waitress wage per hour. They have
Yeah.
never raised it, y'all. They make $2.15 an hour. Your tip is what supports that family.
Actually, I know some that make around $1
Yeah.
and
Well, they
and
take
then tip.
taxes. What they do is this restaurant will estimate how much your tips are because you're supposed to turn in your tips at the end of the
Mhm.
day. But most of them will just estimate how much your tips are, and then all your taxes comes out of that $2.15. So you're coming home with a paycheck that is nothing,
Mhm.
literally nothing, because all the taxes have been taken. So you're
Yep.
not making anything. I had a table of 6 businessmen one night come in, and they ordered the most expensive thing on the menu back then was steak and
Yeah.
lobster or something like that. And they left a quarter on the table. And I followed them out into the parking lot, and my boss was just like, "What is she doing?" I took the quarter out there and I threw it at him. I said, "You need this more than I do." And I turned around and walked back in. He said, "Why'd you do that?" I said, "Would you take a quarter tip for this ticket?" The ticket was over $200.
Yep.
And he followed out and he told him, he says, "Don't ever come back here if you cannot tip our waitresses."
Mhm.
So he did the right thing, but he
Yep.
didn't understand why I did that. And I said, "Look,
Mhm.
they're not going to treat me like a low life that they think I
Mhm.
am,
A
because my
slave,
mother, my
basically, is
mom
what
and
you've
daddy
done.
raised me to be independent." And so, y'all, you got to understand when I get like this, uh, it's because I've been through the school of hard knocks. And
Mhm.
y'all, at that time, I had a deadbeat husband that was not working and two
Mhm.
small children at home. So that quarter tip was not going to put food on the table
No.
for my kids. And I was working a 12-hour shift 6 days a week.
That's
So
why when we go out to eat, we make sure before we go out to eat that we've got the ability to tip big. We
yeah.
tip big because we know that they survive off those tips.
But I've also pulled some waitresses and waiters aside and said, you're really not up to snuff on your
Mm-hmm.
waiting skills. And so I'm leaving you a less of a tip because of that. But I expect the next time I come in here and I sit at your table that you do better. And
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that did more for them than me leaving a quarter tip.
Yeah, we don't tip great big for, we do tip those who, don't
Roscoe, why are you
really
on your
deserve
phone?
the tip, but yet they still worked. We got our food. We eventually got refills and stuff. We do tip them. But then word gets out that we tip big and service just gets excellent. But yeah, we tip because we know exactly what those poor people are making, and it's sad.
Yeah. And a lot of them are putting themselves through college. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of the younger waiters and waitresses are putting themselves through college, and that money is all that they have because mom and daddy can't foot the bill. They have to.
And see, down here they don't get away with that automatic tipping
Yeah.
because you can refuse to pay for the automatic tipping if your service was not up to par.
Yeah. Dollywood's Dream More has a buffet. The server only brought a drink and she did not take our plates away. We removed our own plates and they added 18% into the receipt automatically, regardless of the service. And I would have said something to the manager about that
Yeah.
because that's not right. Uh, if you get bad service, you shouldn't have to tip them
Yep.
18%. First of all, you shouldn't have to tip more than 10% if you don't want to. And them requiring an 18% tip is a little bit much. I know because of the cost of living that a lot of places are doing this,
Mm-hmm.
but I will tell them no at the register. No, I'm not paying the 18%. I have left my tip on the table,
Mm-hmm.
and they have
Now,
to
a
take
lot of
that back
places
off.
here in Memphis, around Memphis now, if it's a big party coming in, usually if it's, how they put it,
6 or more.
6 or more, yeah, then they add the tip to it. But it's not no 18%.
Yeah.
The
Uh,
10%, 10 to 15% you
yeah.
leave, and we always leave tip on the table, depends on how the service is.
Yeah. Now, a
Now,
lot of
if
places,
somebody hustles like no tomorrow, them plates, the minute they're empty, they're gone. That drink gets halfway down, they're back filling it, they're going to get a good tip.
yeah. And see, I worked in one restaurant up there, and we had bus boys, and we
Mm-hmm.
paid we got our 10% from the tip, and then we paid them 10% out of our tip,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because they also did not get, wage per hour was like ours.
Mm-hmm.
It was little to nothing, and them boys, they would run ragged, making sure everybody's cup stayed filled.
Mm-hmm.
Plates were removed. If anybody needed anything and we were waiting on somebody else, they were at that table immediately. So, yeah, we didn't mind paying them. But, y'all, waitresses and, bus boys and places like that, they don't make a lot of money.
No, they don't.
But they deserve our respect because they're out there at least trying.
Mm-hmm. And we do. We take care of them. If they take care of us, we're taking care of them.
Yeah. And,
Because it's not an easy job.
sadly to say, and I have to agree with this, the lowest paying people to tip are Christians on Sundays. And I know this from working in restaurants, but I also have seen it myself when I'm out with Christian friends and they will not tip good. And I've had to pull them aside and say, hey, do you
Mm-hmm.
know? And go through the whole spiel about how much they make an hour. People don't realize that. But we used to tip our male people
Mm-hmm.
at Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
The gardener and different people used to get a tip, but they got paid by the hour,
Mm-hmm.
actual wages, and we would tip them. but we can't tip a waitress. Come on, folks. It's just
I know it's sad. It truly
yeah.
is. But the times are getting bad. I'm telling you.
Well, it's getting bad for us because we don't go out to eat near as often as we used to,
We rarely do.
and
If we go out, it's to the haystack for breakfast once in a blue moon. That's only because my other half has been driving all night, and he don't want me to cook that early in the morning. He says, "Come on, we're going to get coffee." Well, I automatically know what we're going to get coffee means. It means
it means I'm getting breakfast.
yes.
We always go, if we go out now, we go out for breakfast because it has gotten so ridiculously high. And we went one place and paid $25 for 2 breakfasts. And I was like, no, that's more than what we used to pay for supper. But yeah, Donnie, I agree with you. Always tip good unless the service is bad. And don't leave a penny on the table unless it's just awful. Because they do depend on that tip. It's better for you to pull that waiter or waitress aside and say, hey, could you, step up your game a little bit?
Yeah.
And I will leave a better tip next time. They will appreciate it, and you will too. Because I guarantee you, and don't ever send a steak back.
No, I don't send food back. No.
Don't send your food back because I guarantee you, if you got a foreign cook in there, they're going to spit on the food. And I've seen them do it, and I've thrown it on the floor. Oops, I dropped it. Make them make it all over again as a waitress. I'm not taking it out to my customer like that. No. But I've seen them do it.
And I bet you that Dream More is a tourist trap. We don't eat at tourist traps because I like my money.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Now, once in a while, if we're going through Jackson now, we can't help it. We do stop at Casey Jones. Casey Jones is real good. That's if they're still open. We haven't been up that way in a while.
They are, but their service is the food is not as good as it used to be.
But we'd go up there when we'd head that way, and we'd stop at the buffet or Loretta Lynn's Dude Ranch going up that way.
Yeah, I like Loretta Lynn's. I always like going there. If you come to Jackson, there's a place called Dumplings. That's really good. Yeah, but it's home cooked food, and it's really good. It's a little pricey, but it's really good. I'm trying to think of other places. 87 barbecues off exit 87. You eat in your car, but boy, is that barbecue good. And we have a Reggie's barbecue up here that's like Memphis barbecue.
Wait, I've had the 87 barbecue.
Yeah.
He stops there once in a blue moon. I think it's named that because of the exit, right?
Right.
Yep. All right. Then yes, I've had that a couple of times. That's good.
That's really good barbecue. But there's another one. It's called Reggie's Barbecue, and it is like a Memphis barbecue. Really good. Most of the barbecues up here have vinegar sauce, and I hate that.
I like the spicy. We like the spicy barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, the Dolly Resort. That's why it's so expensive.
Yeah.
We don't like tourist traps. You know what I do? I look for rat holes. Buildings that look like it's about to cave in. Because people, when you see an older building and that parking lot is absolutely packed with cars, you can guarantee the food's good in there.
Oh yeah, there's a place near Galloway. It's called Slingshot Charlie's. You need to go there. $11 meal, $11 plate. But let me tell you what, you get a plate full of food, and they bring out your iced tea in a quart mason jar.
Oh, I drink it that way most of the time. I'll be tickled to death.
Yeah, they're really good. Really good food. Really good people. Nice ambiance. And of course, the old Bozo's barbecue is still up there that way, and it's really good. And the original
we search out little mom and pops. That's what we like, because we like to help support local as
Right.
much
Well, these
as
are all local. The other one is the fried chicken place there right outside of Galloway. What is the name of it? They got one in downtown Memphis. Gus's.
Gus's. Yep,
The
Gus's.
original
They're
Gus.
good. They could be a little better, but they're
Yeah.
good though.
Well, the original Gus's, you go there and it's terrific. You go to the
Mhm.
other two, it's but it's really good. Yeah, they live in a tourist town,
Yeah.
Teresa.
Oh, I know. I know. I watch their videos. I know they go to all those expensive places that I don't do touristy. I just don't. It's just not my kind of thing. I'm old school. I'll tell you another thing that makes me happier than anything, and my other half laughs at me. Let me go to a good, like gas station or truck stop, and they got the old fashioned potato logs.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
we
talking
love
about
those.
these little bitty things. I'm talking about the big ones. That will make me happier than anything, because I'm a potato addict, and I love my potato logs, especially the old fashioned ones.
Yeah, yeah, but really and truly, the mom and pop places are the best, and
Mm-hmm.
the government has really tried to get rid of those. These
Mm-hmm.
big chain
Everything you
stores
can.
have tried to run them out of business, and it's sad. So we try to support as many of the mom and pops in our area as we possibly can. Now, Casey Jones is family owned and operated
Mm-hmm.
still. It's not the same owners, but and it was a real tourist attraction for the longest time, kind of like
Yeah.
Liberty Land was for Memphis.
Oh, I
And
miss Liberty Land. I miss Liberty Land.
I
Oh, I
think
miss
everybody
it so much.
does.
They tore it down.
Yeah, and they got rid of the Mid South Fair, which I never understood.
They don't appreciate things.
No.
And that's just like the pyramid. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Bass Pro in the pyramid, if you ever get to go, that's an experience and a half. Now, I have to be careful going into that Bass Pro because, well, me being me, I want most of all of it in there. And so I'll be careful walking around Bass Pro. The, I miss the Coliseum. That's
Yeah,
what I was born. I was born and raised around the fairgrounds.
yeah, the Coliseum is missed tremendously
I
down here.
haven't even been to the fair since they moved it down to South Haven. I no desire to go there. Traffic's a nightmare.
Right.
And yeah, and then they've got that FedEx Forum. No thanks, not interested in that
I've
one
been
either.
to the FedEx Forum, I think, once or twice, and I was like not impressed.
I don't even think I've been in. No, wait, I have been in it once. Take that back. I went in it for one of my nephew's graduations, but not impressed.
Well, they don't even use the Cook Convention Center like they used to. They built
Mm-mm.
this thing, and that's where I graduated at was Cook
Well, they
Convention.
use it now, but it's mostly private used and everything for big conventions and stuff like that. So, no.
Yep. But I mean, it's crazy, and we just got all these places that used to be, and there's going to be more of them, folks. I hate to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
we got a little shopping centers here in Jackson, and I mean, there's like 2 or 3 stores holding the whole place down, and the rest of the buildings are empty.
They're going to finally learn to quit building these malls. They're just death traps because they build these malls and they might last for 5 or 10 years. Next thing you know, they're shut down.
Get down. Sorry, y'all. They heard a noise. Hush.
Bishop's got to protect Mama. He's got to protect Mama.
I'm going to turn off my microphone for a minute.
But yeah, a lot of times people don't realize once you get a certain age, especially with AARP, you get discounts and stuff to travel around, and especially like national parks and stuff, you get discounts and everything.
Coco.
But it's getting to the point where now we got to save money and put that money into building up your stocks. And I'm talking about prepping your food, your medicine cabinets, whatever. Because if you're not prepared by now, you're way behind the rat race.
Yeah, I don't use AARP. I use AMAC.
Mm-hmm.
AARP got a little bit too lefty for me. So
Yep. Yep.
little Looney Tunes on us, and I was like, no.
Listen, I got mad at them all my life. All my life. All I heard about was AARP, AARP. And once I hit in my 40s, I'm like, going, I don't have much longer. I don't know. And all these ads and everything, they never said nothing about charging you. What
Right.
is it, a yearly fee or something like that? Never once. Right as I was about to hit 50, I got the AARP letter and everything. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're charging for this.
Oh yeah, and you
Let
don't
me
really
tell you,
get
I was heartbroken after that. I was upset.
Yeah, AMAC will put out free memberships,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get a free membership, and they don't charge near as much if you do buy a membership for them. But yeah, AMAC I like a lot better. And Joy and Donnie, we love watching your videos.
Yeah, I watch them. I don't always comment, but I watch them and I click that like.
Yeah. She said we get season passes for most places, so they don't spend a lot after the pass price. So that's a good purchase for them. So that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
But when you pay a lot of money for a meal, it just, it hurts your feelings after a while.
Yeah.
Because the money is so hard to come by this day and age.
Especially when it's not a good meal, or for a fact it's all prepared foods and everything. It's all they're doing is heating it up.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize, because when I was a demo lady at Sam's, I was there for a little over 6.5 years. I got to know everybody because I was I knew the regulars and everything. A lot of restaurants come in there, and let me tell y'all, that stuff they tell you it's made from scratch.
No.
No, no, it's not whatsoever. Not even their barbecue sauce. Now they might add to it, but I know what the bases are, and I'm like, going, oh, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. That homemade potato salad when they buy it in the big containers. I'm going, that ain't homemade, y'all.
That's homemade. You go
I
home
learned a lot. I learned a lot. Man, my eyes was open quite a bit.
Gosh.
But people will rip people off and won't even think twice about it. And that's what
Garden mama.
And if I know that a restaurant's lying about their food, no, I won't patronize them. Nope.
Olive Garden has great food, but it's all frozen.
Yep.
If you order a meal, they go back there and they heat it up and they serve it to you. The only thing fresh they have in their place is the salad, and it comes out of a bag. So Joy says, I vlogged cheap eats in Pigeon Forge and got many thumbs down, probably from other restaurants that cost more money. Well, you know what? That thumbs down is just the same as a thumbs up. You're still getting a response.
Yep, I don't worry about the thumbs down. It's like, okay, you want thumbs down me? Bless you, my child. Go on.
Hey, I don't think I called out Sister Winnie, but hi, Sister Winnie. I'm so glad that you're here.
Yep, I'm fixing to get off here because, that's one thing I hate about StreamYard, trying to figure out where the camera is. I got to fill up my coffee mug.
Well, thank you for coming up, Teresa. I really do appreciate it.
That's what was so aggravating last night. I'm trying to figure out which way to go because I'm used to using YouTube.
Yeah.
you just hold
I'm
something
still-
up, everybody can see it.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I know where the camera is on my phone, but when you get
Yep.
on StreamYard, you got to find where to go.
It's like, which way up, down?
Well, I have really enjoyed you being here. I really have.
Oh, I've enjoyed myself so much.
And again, happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Today, I told everybody no video today. I've got to reclaim myself.
Recuperate.
Yes, recuperate, man. It was rough getting up this morning because first thing when my eyes open, coffee.
Yeah, but an 8-hour blitz probably had something to do with all that tiredness.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And I can't believe I had people that lasted the whole live stream.
Well, I tried, but I knew I wasn't going to make it.
That's why I warned everybody, you're going to need coffee, something to keep you awake. You're going to need all the help you can get.
Hey, my friend Alfonso Simmental, welcome in.
Well,
y'all,
hopefully this has helped you get some of the watch hours you've needed.
Well, I appreciate it. I really and truly do. Alfonso is our musician, y'all.
Oh, yes.
If you haven't seen him, you need to go check out his channel. Absolutely.
Okay, now, since this is my first time being on a live, how do I?
You're going to, I can drop you down and you can.
Okay, yep, because I have no clue.
Okay.
Thank you.
And she can remove herself from the stream. She should be able to figure it out. So I'm excited. Well, there she goes. She's disconnected now. Y'all, I have really enjoyed today's live with our friends. And I'm so excited with the things that are going on in our community. I hope no one here gets offended by any of the topics that we ever talk about, because we're real here. We're going to talk about a lot of topics, and a lot of them are not always pleasant topics, but we need to try to address issues when they come up. And Alfonso, you be safe out there driving. And that's exciting that they played one of your songs at the prom. That is very exciting. If anybody else would like to come up on panel, you're more than welcome to. If not, I'm going to shut down here in a short because we're almost at the 3-hour mark. But I would like to ask if anybody has any prayer requests to drop them in the chat and we can pray over the prayer requests. I believe in prayer and I believe in praying at the moment that the prayer request comes across. So if you have a prayer request, please drop it now and let me know. Alfonso, you're on a bus going home. You wish you could drive. I can imagine, because buses can be, intimidating. You got all these strangers around you. Yeah, I can understand that, my friend. The rain turned cold quick. Candy do that. Oh, my goodness. I hope I didn't miss anybody coming into the chat. If I did, I do apologize. I do try to catch everybody that comes through. I try to keep my eye on the chat because y'all are where all the action really and truly is. I'm just up here talking. But I really appreciate my guest today. I was so excited that Miss Janet came up and Teresa came up. Yes, Joy, we need to pray for our constitutional lawyers to get the MPS permit reversed. Absolutely. We have a lot of things going before our Supreme Court that needs to be addressed. And I'm praying for our Supreme Court justices that they would have wisdom and understanding to navigate these muddy waters that we find our country in. Thank you for dropping links for us, Joy Bless Life and Triple Threat. I really appreciate that. If anybody else wants to drop their link, they can drop it with the word Hillbilly. And any of our new members or new people on our live can go check out channels, or you can go check out their channels. It's always a great opportunity to connect and grow. Alfonso, I don't think I've gotten your card yet. It may be in the mailbox today. My husband went yesterday and checked. So I don't know if he's going to check today. Usually we check on the weekend. So I'll be looking for that card. Well, y'all, I am so thankful for each and every one of you. I cannot tell you how much your support means to me. You being here, being a part of my family, my friendship with each of you. It is a tremendous comfort and joy to have y'all in my life. Hello, Cruise and Cozies. Welcome in. I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for stopping by, even if it's for a few minutes. Getting hot tub to help these getting in the hot tub. That sounds like a good thing to do. Alfonso, I wish I could send you some cookies and a chicken. But I think the chicken would eat the cookies and then it wouldn't be any good either way. You might get a box full of poo. But those cookies were good. My husband liked them, and I didn't tell him that they were low carb until after he ate them. He goes, "This is good." So we're going to be doing those cookies again. If y'all missed that premiere yesterday, you need to go back and watch it. I had a lot of good, interesting things in there, including the blackberry starts that my husband put out this year. Yes, Alfonso, I know I can send it free matter for the blind. Yes, I know. Yes, Cruise and Koozies. I enjoy doing the live shows, and I enjoy watching other live shows also. It's a great way to have conversation without leaving the comforts of your home. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Candy Dudette. I appreciate you so much, sweetie. Well, y'all, I'm going to close it out. Nobody's dropping any prayer requests, so I'm gathering everybody's doing okay. But just know that I do pray over your names when you come through. I pray over the channels that I am going to present. I ask God to lead me in everything that I do, and that it will be to His glory and His honor. And I hope that you enjoy this, and that you will share this out with other people, or share out videos that I put out. Go check out some of the playlists of these people that are needing watch hours, including me. And go friend some channels that you maybe haven't friended yet. There's a lot of great channels out there, and we're building a community. I love the fact that I have addresses of people that I can contact. If something does go wrong, we can still remain in contact as long as the post office is still available. And y'all, go out and enjoy Valentine's weekend. This coming week is going to be Valentine's. Go out and enjoy it with friends or family or your loved one, and really tell people that you love them. Let them know. Let God shine through you. Be blessed, and I'll see you on the next live. Thank you for coming. I will do that, Joy. I'm sorry about that, Alfonso. Bye-bye, y'all.